tissues back here if you need any.
Alright. Just making sure it's...
I know, I will.
Should be some... Alright.
We ready?
And let's make sure we get the video. Because I know this is going.
Yeah, we gotta get
but I want to make sure the preview's going. Okay, preview's going. So, we should be live now. Can I get rid of some of these ads?
Okay, they can see us.
Yeah, they should be able to.
Alright. Hey, Wolfpack. Cat and Wolf are here, and we're gonna be ranking the Haunting Hour episodes on a big old tier list. Because I don't have it in me to do like 70 episodes on one video.
Yep.
And Wolf is joining us.
Hello, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the previous video I did. Doing 2 ONAs. Really fun stuff. Apparently just a bunch more dropped soon after. I don't think I'm going to go back and do those, though. At least not yet.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, you got
it. Took me a while to find it.
Right, yeah, because it's not paying for mine.
So I'm paying attention to chat. Oh, someone said hi. Hello, Network 98. Glad you could join us. Alright, so if you know how tier lists work, we're going to be ranking every episode. S tier is the best of the best, the greatest episodes ever. A is good, but has some flaws. B is okay, a decent episode. It definitely has a lot of good, but also far from perfection. C is average. It is the middling episode. Not good, but also not bad. D is below average, which you know is a weak episode, but also does have some hope for good quality. This tier list also gives us E, which means it's a bad episode, but it had potential. And F is for total failure. You ever done a tier list, Wolf?
No. I think you can also delete some of the tiers if you wanted to, and also rename them.
Well, there's like 30 plus episodes.
That's fair. And I guess there is some difference between a D and an E.
Alright. Oh, hey, we got some people showing up.
Heck yeah.
Gail's Plus Show, hi. We love the Haunting Hour too. And Legs Fall Off Girl. I've seen this person on a lot of Goosebumps reviews.
Okay. Interesting name.
And looks like we're in luck because the episodes are actually in order, so we could actually go from start to finish for the Haunting Hour.
Oh, it doesn't even have the special on here?
What do you mean?
The movie.
The movie?
Yeah.
No, just the series.
Darn, okay.
Sorry, just the series.
Alright.
And it's okay, the movie wasn't that good anyway. Let's see how many flame wars we cause with that.
Yeah, already gonna start one with me, apparently.
Okay, so let's start with Really You. Have you seen this one, Wolf? The first Lily D episode. Have you?
It has been a while since I have watched any of the Haunting Hour. I will give you that. Although, Really You, I might have actually missed this one.
Yeah, you remember Lily D, the killer dog, life-size mannequin?
Right, one of our most popular reviews.
Right, one of the greatest Haunting Hour villains for sure.
Yeah, I don't think I caught this one.
Yeah, it's the classic killer doll, but the doll also wants to steal Lily's life and family.
Right.
It's a pretty good episode, but the one problem I've always had was the mom.
I was about to bring up, because I thought there was the plot about the mother, like, also going along with the doll and trying to use her as the replacement/better daughter.
Yeah, something that always confused me is she, like, yells at her daughter when the doll frames her that Lily D's not alive, and then she proceeds to treat Lily D like she's alive.
Yeah, that can be kind of jarring.
I would say I give it A. Not S, but the first part was definitely good.
Okay, I can agree to that.
There's 2 parts, so yeah, we'll count them together.
Well, there's 2 parts and then a sequel.
Yeah, we'll get to the sequel later. We'll put both Really Part 1 and 2 because they're basically the same story. No, that one went to S rank. Yeah, sorry guys, but the first Lily D is an A. It's good, but it does have some flaws.
Alright, I'm taking your phone. I cannot get the stream to work on mine.
You can't?
I could not be able to find it.
Okay.
Have you seen Connor Price as a rapper now? The actor who played Brandon on Lily D?
Yeah.
I have not seen that news. Then again, I don't really follow a lot of the actors for these shows.
Yeah, me too. It's like been forever. I know China Ann McClain was on Black Lightning.
Right.
And she was the RV girl.
Yeah.
Next is A Creature Was Stirring, the first Christmas episode. Have you seen this one,
This
Wolf?
one I definitely have not seen.
Okay, this is the one where Santa gives a gremlin to help a boy's wish to unite his family by having them unite against a monster attempting to murder them.
Okay, I might have seen your review on it, because part of that sounds familiar, but also just kind of making me think of, like, Krampus vibes before Krampus really took off.
Yeah, it's pretty much just Krampus,
Okay.
but with a mini Krampus.
Yeah. Interesting premise for an episode, I'll give it that.
I love the little gremlin, like, rips apart an iPhone to, like, pieces.
Interesting.
It was, like, a little legit creepy scene, but overall, I would say it's a dark comedy because it is kind of played for laughs and over the top.
Okay.
And the twist ending shows Santa comes in his Hummer to pick up the gremlin.
Okay, I do remember that from your review. I definitely do remember that. I think that's just funny on its own.
Yeah, I definitely got a good kick out of it. Is our mic working right?
Should be.
Okay.
You guys can hear us, right?
I hope so. I will give a creature with stirring B. Yeah, because it fell in Silver Skull territory for me. I do think it has a bit of schlocky, and it always kind of bothered me, the ending. The gremlin blows up their house, and they have nothing, and the little boy says, "This is the best Christmas ever." It's
Well, because they have their family and are not being terrorized. Also, thank you, Network and Legs, for telling us that you can hear us.
Thank you very much. Glad you can hear us. I hope we're not blowing out your eardrums.
Yeah, I'm kind of sitting kind of close to the mic where I'm at.
Yeah. Okay, so I will give a creature string a B. It did fall into Silver Skull territory for me, mostly because I do have some problems with the ending, because they're left with nothing.
Of course.
Yeah,
that kind of, destroying the house to show the power of family it could be done in better ways than taking away all their possessions.
But definitely the good Christmas special.
Oh boy, don't
Wait
even
till
get
we get
me
to
started
that one.
on that finale.
Alright, next is The Dead Body, the one with Jake Skinner.
Yes.
This is the first part, though. The sequel has the Wraith.
Even this, I think it was still an amazing episode.
Should we give it S rank?
I'd give it like a very high A, though.
High A or S?
Yeah. What are your feelings on it?
Ooh, I definitely liked it. I will give it S.
Yeah, it's just so good. The twist is iconic.
Yeah, and Jake Skinner's a really cool villain. I do like that they pretend he might be sympathetic, but nope, he's like the most evil of all.
Also, I feel like it's one of the early parts where they actually do go dark, because isn't this where he's like trapped in the facility that gets lit on fire?
Jake Skinner died in the school because his own bullies accidentally lit him on fire.
Yeah.
And the Will goes back in time to save him, but we find out no, Jake was using him to swap places with his death.
Yeah.
Because that would bring him back to life. And yeah, it was really cool. I do like how dark it was.
Yeah.
It was definitely one of the better anti-bullying episodes, because Jake Skinner was a bully victim, but he became worse than the people who picked on him.
Exactly. I know you have a lot to say about the anti-bullying stuff.
Yeah,
we
got a lot of worse episodes.
Melody Fox was
my
the name?
arch enemy, Melody Fox. We'll get to her. But yeah, The Dead Body was great. I think it was a good one.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't like the ending because Will was completely innocent and screwed over, but you know, it is a horror show.
Yeah, that's the point. I think even Goosebumps had a few like darker endings kind of thing.
And I can forgive them because they eventually made the sequel.
Exactly.
So it definitely...
Where everything is written back.
So it definitely makes me like the episode still.
Yeah.
The Dead Body's great. I gave both of them a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'd
probably do the same.
It was awesome. Jake Skinner's a great villain.
Jake Skinner's pure evil, yeah.
Yeah, he definitely is. But he's hot, so that the girls love him.
Yeah, the bad boy.
Oh boy, Nightmare Inn, the werewolf hotel. Do you remember
that
this?
one I don't think I saw.
I know you cameoed on the video because, you know, you're a wolf.
Of course.
And Femwolf's a Femwolf, and there's an evil Femwolf in the show.
Gotcha.
This is the one with the little girl going to the abandoned hotel to fix it up, and there's werewolves on the prowl, and it turns out they're the staff working at the hotel.
Interesting premise.
It has a very confusing mind screw moment because there's like so many fake out dreams, but then it turns out, no, it wasn't a dream, it was real. And they do this like 5 times.
Oh, that's gotta be annoying. I'm also gonna change the settings on here so we get all messages instead of just the top messages. That way we don't miss anything.
I remember giving it an 8 out of 10 because I liked it, and her dad is a werewolf too, shows up and kills the evil werewolves.
Huh.
Which was definitely a huge Savage moment. It's like, yeah, apparently her dad went, like, missing a while back, and it turns out he's a good werewolf protecting the area, and he saves her from the evil ones.
Interesting. So it's one of the... Yeah, okay.
It is a trippy episode. I might give it a B.
Yeah, I was thinking that, or maybe C as it kind of went on. At least with your description, granted.
Yeah,
because again, I haven't seen the episode.
I've seen it too. Nightmare Inn is one I don't often race back to watch.
That's a fair one.
It was a very confusing episode. I thought it was decent. I do remember giving it a gold skull, so I definitely did like it in the end.
Okay, that's an interesting note.
I'll put it on B. It's
Do you want to put it above Creature with Stirring though?
Because I might since it was gold. Yeah. All right. The next is The Red Dress. You remember this one?
I think so.
It's the one where the girl steals a magic dress from the blind gypsy woman, but the dress, because she didn't pay for it, so the gypsy woman, like, haunts her.
Yeah, classic gypsy story.
Yeah, it's basically, like, don't steal. Because, like, she's like, well, I deserve it because I have a bad life and everybody looks at me like the loser girl, and she steals the red dress to look hot.
Yeah.
Because it's, like, a very alluring. It's a magic dress.
Right.
However, she didn't pay for it. She stole it, which is why the ghost is haunting her.
Of course.
I definitely remember liking it a lot. It has, like, a very screwed up twist ending where basically at the end, the gypsy woman gets her payment by stealing her eyes.
Huh.
Because, like, she's blind, she steals her good vision and gives her blind eyes.
Okay.
It's, like, a very disturbed twist.
It's twisted, but it seems very karmic.
Yeah, it is a karmic twist ending kind of story, because we find out, like, the girl, you feel sorry for her a bit, but she's also very selfish, and ultimately kind of dumb because she's warned multiple times that she'll come get her, and she still keeps the red dress.
Of course. Gotta have the idiot protagonist.
Right. It's like, it's kind of a be careful what you wish for, and everyone must pay a price for something. Nothing's free in this world.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah, because she's like, well, I'm the loser, so I deserve something. She feels like she's owed the red dress.
Gotcha.
Which is kind of the payoff of the moral.
Right.
This one, I might give an A, but he'll be on the end.
Okay.
It'll be definitely on the end. Next is The Ghostly Stare. Oh, boy. This was one of the first week episodes.
Really?
Yeah, so basically, it was about a staring contest in the book, but it got changed. Basically, there's a graveyard being worked on, and while screwing around, one of the kids falls in the grave, like, at a precise time at night, and a ghost possesses him, and the ghost, like, constantly feels cold or something.
Huh.
And so, like, the little, like, his sister has to go back to the graveyard and rescue her, and then she meets, like, all these kooky ghosts who try to steal her body.
Of course.
It was a weird one, and apparently there was, like, a lesson about how life is unfair sometimes.
That's not the lesson I was thinking of, but alright.
I always assumed don't be an idiot and playing graveyards, but...
Yeah, your life can be ended at any moment.
I didn't like the villains very much. The ghost boy possessing the brother doesn't really do anything. He's kind of played for laughs. He's like, so can we start a fire? It's like cold. And the evil girl, Alice May, I think, or Alice something, Alice Claiborne. Okay. She's like a kind of a goofy ass pungeon master. She like makes several stupid dark jokes and puns. Like it was a lame. And basically the twist ending is, surprise, the girl falls in the grave and fails and gets possessed by Alice.
Interesting.
It's supposed to be like a good old-fashioned possession story.
Yeah.
But I do think it's a bit weird. This one I might put on E.
That low, dang.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't too big on the ghostly stare. Next is The Walls, the one with the creepy golem guy who lives in the walls.
Yes, I do kind of remember that.
This one was one of the funniest episodes of the series because, like, it pretends it's going to be dark, but it has a really goofy twist in the end. basically, our friend Swarmin' Norman moves into a new house, but believes there's a monster man living in the walls, and it's like stalking and harassing him.
Right. Isn't the twist like the parents know it's in there?
Yes, because this is a creature. The Clement brings good luck.
I forgot
and they
about
can't
that.
tell anyone, otherwise they lose that luck.
Okay.
So basically, they gaslit their son and let the monster abuse him.
Yeah, I do kind of think I remember laughing at the end of that.
Oh, hi, Yara Altro. Missed you.
Also, we're not that far, Prince Kiro.
Yeah, we're not that fine. Here, you can see the episodes we got so far.
Yeah, that one too.
We're on the walls right now. Talk about, it was one of the funny, it has like a funny twist ending where basically the boy gets back at his abusive parents by blackmailing them.
That's right, okay.
It says, what's in it for me? And then they give him the room and the parents have to deal with the Clement crying to them.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Glad you can make it though, Yara.
Oh, and it also has the best friend Chuck, the monster master.
Oh my gosh.
Remember Chuck? He's like this monster expert who knows all this intel, and he has books about monster hunting and helps him find out that it's a Clement in the first place.
I don't think I remember that.
And they both go on like an adventure, and the walls is like this labyrinth kind of thing in their house. It was great. I love the walls. I gave it a 10 out of 10. It's S rank.
Alright.
Yeah, I will put it after the dead body because that was just classic. The walls is one of their good, funny episodes.
I really wish I could move this heart out of the way, get rid of it. Hello there, sorry. Akira.
Oh, hey, Akira. Glad you showed up. We're on your favorite Game Over.
Let's go. Oh man, I love this episode still. It's so dumb and the premise is dumb, but I love it. I still hate the opening lines of "Let's get your Halo on."
Game Over is, of course, the one where kids get absorbed into a real video game world where they have to compete to become like the top champion.
Exactly.
And they fight the Power Ranger. It's the Red SPD Ranger is the final boss. It was so cool. I do like the zombie makeup and such.
Yeah, I think also the little aspects of the game were kind of done well.
Yeah, it was a fun episode. All the things.
Yeah,
I did this one for your birthday review.
I remember.
It was a dumb fun episode.
It is. I'm not afraid to say that it's not like A rank though.
Right.
It really doesn't.
I had two problems with it. One of the kids like needlessly sacrifices himself, and you had like so much time to run away.
Yeah.
And two, the final boss is anticlimatically beaten. Like the kids literally just dogpile.
Yeah, they just team up because his weapon was all his friends.
Yeah, it's like an RPG and kind of a Left 4 Dead kind of game because it's like multiplayers fighting zombies.
Yeah.
But there is like a top champion, which is the evil guy, the Power Ranger.
And then, of course, the classic, once you've beaten him, you've actually freed him, and now you must take his place, and then continue the cycle.
Right. It's another be careful what you wish for, because he was like willing to do whatever it takes to be the best gamer, and he find out he was tricked.
Yeah.
Because the Power Ranger wanted to be free. What would you want to rank Game Over?
Honestly, I'm going to put it as a B. I'm going to put it above A Creature Was Stirring at the very least.
I think it belongs above Nightmare Inn, too.
Okay, I wasn't sure on Nightmare Inn was the only thing.
Yeah, okay, Game Over is a B. I give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, it's also one I think I would want to rewatch sometime, just because it's one of those fun ones for me.
It's Wolf's favorite episode of the series. And yeah, I definitely had fun. It's dumb, but that fun kind of dumb. Hey, Akira.
Yeah, a lot of
crossover for Piano Lessons Can Be Murder. We still gotta do that one.
I know. I still have that one lined up.
Oh, man. Next is Alien Candy.
Hey, Shadow Link.
This one has a very weird premise. Have you ever seen Alien Candy? The one with the aliens that want to eat the redhead kid?
So I probably saw it when it was coming on. I don't think I can remember much of it, though, is the thing.
Hey, Shadowlink. Glad you're here.
It's definitely...
Here's the tier if you want to see.
Yeah. This is definitely a situation where, like, I probably have seen almost all the episodes, but I just can't remember them. There's just been so much time since then.
Right. Alien Candy, I think, is, like, maybe a B or a C tier. I remember giving it a Silver Skull.
Okay.
There were parts I liked. I really hated the idiot bully. He was like a completely pointless character, but he's just there to make the main character's life suffer. The alien designs, though, were pretty cool. Like, they're trying to recruit this boy for their alien club, and they're feeding him alien candy, which is supposed to tenderize him or something.
Interesting.
Because they're secretly recruiting, like, loser kids to eat them, since nobody will notice them disappearing. And at one point, they actually bite off the kid's toe. It's like, yeah, it happens on screen. Somehow he's not bleeding. They stitched it up while he was knocked out.
I wish you guys could have seen my reaction to that statement. Unironically, it's just such a what moment that I legitimately tilted back and shook my head. Yeah,
it was a bizarre one. I do love the aliens die pretty horribly too. Like,
oh, nice.
I think they throw like some food at them, like salt or one of the lunch ladies' like weird toxic foods, and it liquefies them.
Oh, jeez.
It was like a brutal death. Yeah, I will give Alien Candy this. It was not afraid to be savage.
Okay, we got some people saying it's like a C.
Okay,
maybe
it'll be our first C then.
Yeah,
it's average. It's got some good moments, but also some dumb moments.
Okay.
Next
C for candy.
Oh, Fear Never Knocks. One of my favorite episodes with the Freddy Krueger knockoff.
Yes, what is it? They got Zsasz for it.
Yeah, Victor Zsasz is Fear.
Who is also the fog guy from The Flash.
Right, he's so over the top. I love him. Fear Never Knocks is basically the Haunting Hour's Freddy Krueger story. They're like two kids. I think Ariel Winter is one of them. The two kids are with their therapist grandpa, and the little girl wants to be a therapist, and so she tampers with the box of fears because it's supposed to help the patients lose their nightmares, but only to accidentally attract the attention of the embodiment of fear, who's basically the boogeyman.
Right.
He gave Grandpa this box to help him, but was ultimately betrayed by him because he was supposed to uphold his end of the bargain and help him spread fear. But Grandpa wants to use it to help people and bring good.
All right.
So he basically breaks in while Grandpa's away at his, like, retirement party and leaves the kids alone, where the kids try to use the box of fears to stop him, and Fear comes in and acts like a classic boogeyman, bringing their nightmares to life. And the guy playing Fear is so good.
Yeah.
He like, hams it up to the extreme, but he's also pretty creepy. It's like, he's basically like Freddy Krueger. He's bringing their nightmares to life, and he takes joy in terrorizing kids. Like, I remember, like, my favorite line is saying, "You know what I'm afraid of? I'm afraid of you." It's like, music to my ears.
Okay.
It's like, and that laugh, that weird hissy laugh he does, that became a meme on her channel.
I forgot about that.
Fear Never Knocks is S rank.
Yeah, people are saying
S
that
rank.
too. Easiest S tier. Fear Never Knocks is peak haunting hour.
Yeah, I'm going to actually put it above the dead body and the walls.
Yeah.
Fear Never Knocks is a definitive haunting hour episode. It is awesome.
Yeah. How you holding up, Kat, after that whole council fiasco?
Oh, thanks. I'm doing well. We're getting back to basics.
Yeah.
We opened our new cemetery. So it'll always serve as a reminder. My only problem is I wish Wolf would do a crossover review with me.
Eventually. There's at least 2 planned crossovers. We just have to get to them.
Right.
And by we, I mean me.
We're doing good. I'm glad. I'm happy. The only sad news is we lost Manny.
Yeah.
And we did lose Catalyst after he turned good. He sacrificed himself to help us, Wolf.
My favorite of the cats.
Yeah, Wolf really liked Catalyst in the story arc. Too bad he died before he could meet.
Yeah. Definitely fun doing all the art for them, though.
Yeah.
There were some that wasn't, but I really loved at least the Thundercat death scene.
Yeah, Fear Never Knocks is definitely S rank.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, Best Friend Forever, the pet zombie episode. This was a dumb one. I know there's some people who actually told me they like it because it's stupid.
Right.
But, like, basically a boy who doesn't allowed to have any animal pets gets a pet zombie when he accidentally, like, resurrects him on his science experiment. And, yeah, the zombie's name is Cheeky, and it's kind of creepy because it's like a old man who lives sleeping in the same bed as this boy and following him. And it's a really stupid episode. It's like the one of their first comedy episodes, and I remember not liking it.
You want to see a good BFF? Watch Fido. Maybe.
First season on, yeah. It's like really stupid. He like plays fetch with it, and the zombie almost kills Mom, but he fumbles around.
Yeah.
And there's also this really annoying like rich kid who's our idiot bully who he gets back at by scaring him with the zombie.
Yeah.
And the twist was weird. Like, basically we find out the zombie betrays the boy and takes him home to be his pet because he wanted a pet human.
Yeah,
and he's
I do kind of remember that.
He, like, made a name tag for him, and he's, like, feeding him garbage and feces.
I do remember that.
It was a dumb... The sad thing is the zombie actually looks pretty cool.
Definitely.
But they use him for, like, comedy, and I never thought R.L. Stine was all that great at comedy.
Yeah. And then we got a couple that are like D or E. One person saying D because there's a lot worse episodes.
I'll put it on E, but definitely lower than Ghostly Stare.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of the worst to me. Next is the Black Mask. You remember this one? The mask that shows you the future.
I don't think so.
Okay, so basically some kids are like screwing around in like this abandoned haunted house, and they find this black mask, and it shows them visions when you put it on. They see like this old-timey like pilgrim children who died, and they somehow want to use the mask to warn them to prevent their death.
Alright, keep going, because I don't know why that sounds familiar to me.
Okay, so they believe, like, this scary guy who turns out to be, like, the carpenter working on the house, like, killed these kids or something, and, like, caused their deaths in, like, the basement by deliberately sabotaging the floorboards, and they want to use the mask to prevent that by somehow sending a message to them.
Interesting.
And at one point we find out the twist is the Black Mask wasn't showing them the past, he was showing the future, because two of the kids actually dress as the pilgrims to try and reenact it, and it was trying to warn them of their own death. It was...
I'm sorry, that just sounds so stupid.
It was so bizarre. Like, the little kid figures out that the mask was showing them the future and warning them of their own death to come, and of course he saves them just in time, and the twist is, like, the mask was actually a good guy showing them their future.
Interesting, okay.
It was a weird one. I remember giving it an 8 out of 10 because it had a compelling mystery, but also very confusing points.
Okay. The general consensus is at least a B.
Hey, Blacksmith Orange.
To see 2 A or B, but one person B or C. The only commonality is the B.
I will put it on B.
Are you going to put it as a high B or a low B?
Let's see. I put it above Creature Was Stirring.
Not above Nightmare Inn, though.
Nah. Like, okay. It mostly takes place in this boring house.
Fair
Nightmare Inn at least had werewolves murdering each other.
Yeah. Also, hello, Blacksmith Orange. Glad you can make it.
Great to see you. Yeah, I'd definitely put on B.
Silly, predictable twist and story, harmless. B at least or a low B. Okay.
Yeah. Here's our tier list if you're showing up now.
I'm going to move my chair.
Yeah, comfy.
I just want to move a bit so I'm not leaning over constantly.
Oh, Afraid of Clowns. This was another top tier episode.
Really?
You don't remember Afraid of Clowns? This is with the night at the museum boy. Has, like, a dreadful fear of clowns and has, like, childhood trauma.
Oh, no, I think I do kind of remember this now.
The circus comes to town and the clowns, like, stalk him.
Okay, I think I also remember the promo for this as well. Great Haunting Hour has done some really good promos.
This was my first episode ever and what got me hooked on the show.
Really?
This is, like, the kind of episode that appeals to people who are terrified of clowns.
Yeah.
And I love Captain Crazy, the leader of the circus.
Nice.
He was so funny. I remember, like, when they show the mirrors of him as a clown, and his just has a hole showing his own face. It says, "You're not that good looking, kid." It was, like, so over the top. I love him.
Yeah.
This one is definitely S rank.
S, wow, okay.
I gave it a 10 out of 10 on the review. I'll put it below The Walls, and The Dead Body, of course. Yeah, Afraid of Clowns is a good one. You remember, it has the twist where it turns out...
They're clowns
They're
as well.
clowns. Like, he and his whole family...
He's, like, reaching puberty, and they wanted to tell him, like, before it.
Yeah, basically, the dad is trying to give him the talk, and he was actually trying to warn him he's growing into a clown.
Yeah.
And that was so outlandish.
Yeah.
I even told my teacher about it, and she loved it because of how surreal that twist was.
Yeah.
Where he was a clown. It's a lot darker than the book's ending, too, because he didn't want this.
Right.
Yeah, Afraid of Clowns is an S rank. It is a classic.
Yeah. Also, was Dylan Minnette in it?
Dylan Minette's not in the Afraid of Clowns,
Okay.
no. No, he's in 2 other episodes.
Alright, got her.
Next is My Sister the Witch. You don't remember this one. This is the one where the sister comes back from a boarding school implied to be Hogwarts, and she's basically a witch, and her brother is trying to expose her because he thinks she's evil now.
Of course.
And yeah, the boys are, like, the boy and his best friend are Boy Scouts. We find out bad things are happening to the family, and we find out in a twist the witch sister was good. It's actually her stalker ex-boyfriend who's a warlock and the head of the Boy Scouts.
Sure.
It was a kind of a funny episode, and basically my favorite part was the best friend sold him out to the boyfriend because he promised him badges. Boy Scout badges.
I do remember that, yes.
It's like, it's badges, bro. Badges.
We got Pogs. Alf's back in Pog form.
Right. The twist villain was kind of dumb because he was like a character who had like 3 scenes in the background.
Yes, I do remember.
I was the mastermind all along. He's like had 2 lines this whole episode.
Yes, okay, I do remember that at the very least.
I definitely had fun because the witch sister was actually fun, and there's weird magic at play, which definitely made it interesting.
Alright.
Like, the boyfriend was, like, sending death omens to kill the family.
Of course.
And, yeah, we're led to believe it's the witch sister because she's the one being weird. And, like, there are, like, snakes in the plumbing and weird, like, the parents get frozen in place.
Yeah.
And at the end, they, like, beat the villain because they turn him into a frog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a stupid episode, but a fun stupid.
Yeah.
I might give it a B.
Okay.
I will put it under A Creature with Stirring, though,
Yeah.
that's for sure. I remember giving it like a 7 out of 10. It was definitely stupid, but my kind of stupid.
Yeah. What the heck?
Definitely was creative with the clowns.
Definitely was yeah, Twist Villain was kind of dumb, but solid episode. Bit average, nothing but terrible, forgettable. I remember being somewhat dumb, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Witch Sister, I will give a B. It also made my top 5 episodes I love, but everyone hates.
That's fair.
It was just fun.
Okay.
Next is Wrong Number. You remember this with the prank calls and the girl is haunted by Mrs. Biazovich through her phone?
Not really.
Oh,
when I saw the little preview image, I thought of a completely different and much better episode.
This has Debbie Ryan as, like, the queen alpha bitch.
Of course.
She's basically this idiot bully popular girl, and she prank calls the wrong person because she calls, like, a real witch. And basically, all the people she picked on set up this elaborate magic trick to haunt her and basically punish for her bratty behavior. Like, weird stuff happens to her. She's haunted.
Yeah. This was the episode that also kind of got away with the bitch word, wasn't it?
Yeah. Thanks, Miss Biazza, bitch.
Yeah.
Because it's part of her name.
Right.
Yeah, that was awesome. Basically, Debbie Ryan plays a mean girl, and everyone loved that because she always played nice girls in her stuff. So seeing her as an idiot bully on R.L. Stine show.
Always good to see an actor be not typecasted.
Right. Basically, like, she's haunted, and, like, the goth chick she picked on, like, sets her up to die, basically.
Yeah.
Like, she gives her, like, some magic trinkets, but it only allowed Mrs. Byazovich's ghost to enter her home. And basically, the cool way is how they kill her, where she traps her in, like, her phone as, like, a picture, and, like, she's still alive and conscious in the phone, and basically deletes her. Yeah, she's like...
It's very creative, actually.
It's, like, also kind of her ironic death, because she's addicted to her phone,
Yeah,
like,
right.
you know, popular bitch.
Fair enough.
A lot of people really loved this episode. It is a total karmic twist ending, and it is also a scary episode.
Yeah, I can kind of see that in our chat.
Yeah, it's definitely a Tales from the Crypt style episode.
Interesting.
I wonder, should we give it A or S? Because it is pretty good. I did like it.
Yeah, what are... scroll up. I want to see the
Scroll up.
A contenders.
We got Red Dress, really... Yeah, we could put it on A.
Yeah, I think we can put it above the dress.
Yeah, above the dress, but not before Lily D, that's for sure.
Yeah. Okay. That Debbie could have avoided her death. if she just walked off.
Yeah,
but no, she still insulted her.
Yeah, at one point she like the witch almost spares her and lets her go, and because she said I'm sorry and said I'm sorry you're a bitch,
That's
and then
okay,
that's what screws her over.
Yeah,
really good episode. It's not my personal favorite, but definitely an A tier.
Yeah.
Up next is Catching Cold, the ice cream truck.
Yeah.
You remember this one? The creamy cold ice cream, and the Rowley from Diary of a Wimpy Kid is addicted to ice cream.
I think I remember parts of it.
This has the ghost ice cream truck going around, which no one can catch. There's like, it's so creepy because it has this creepy smile face, and there's no driver, as we can see.
Of course.
Basically, Rowley tries to catch this magic ice cream truck, which allegedly has the best ice cream in the universe or whatever. Right. And he does like some terrible things, basically shows you how greedy and gluttonous he is.
Yeah.
He catches the ice cream truck by popping its tires by stealing his police dad's like spikes. It's so creative. And basically, we find out the twist. The ice cream truck feeds on children's souls.
Of course.
It stays in power from the addicted ice cream brats, and at one point in the story, they mention another kid was after it. I can't remember his name, but he looked like Hagrid. Basically, this other fat kid hunted the ice cream truck and disappeared at random. We find out he was in the truck being used as a battery the whole time.
Yeah.
And basically he tells Rowley that it's his turn because now he's old and used.
Yep.
And Rowley becomes trapped and basically is be careful what you wish for. It's like he gets all the ice cream he wants,
yeah.
But you know, you're stuck in a truck until you die.
Yeah, and for a malevolent entity, I think an ice cream truck
Jimmy Jeffries, that's it.
Okay.
That
does sound familiar. Actually.
Jimmy Jeffries, like the mailman like knew him when they were kids.
Okay. Yeah, disguising as an ice cream truck for that is, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I liked it. The ice cream truck was kind of like Christine. It was a sentient car and very creepy.
Yeah.
It's like, this had like this is a top tier episode, which everyone loved.
Yeah, I can see why.
I think it's very creative because, you know, making kids terrified of the ice cream man.
Yeah, the thing that's usually a sign of like happiness.
Right.
We could still hear it through our neighborhood a couple times.
Basically, it turns into a pedo van and takes him. It was great.
Yeah, it's much more like a predator, like a hunting predator.
Right. I like it. The Catching Cold truck, a lot of people wanted on my top villains list.
Really?
I didn't include it because, you know, as a car, it can't express itself.
Yeah, it's pretty limited.
Right. It's a good episode. I will put it on S.
S, okay.
Yeah, I'll put it after Afraid of Clowns.
Gotcha.
It is good. Catching Cold is great.
Alright.
Oh boy, Pool Shark.
I kind of remember this.
You remember the...
kind of. Isn't he like a were shark?
Yeah, there's Nana Uwe is in the swimming pool.
That's right. I think I remember looking up the myth at one point. I don't remember the myth, unfortunately.
Yeah, so basically a lifeguard, finds there's a shark in their local swimming pool.
Right.
And basically a terrible Twilight romance is going on the side.
Yep.
It's like, I really did not like the CW drama romance on this episode. It's like, Cameron, that was the idiot bully's name. He was trying to steal Kai's girl.
Of course there's an idiot bully.
There's always an idiot bully because for some reason women are charmed by that.
Yeah, there must always be a Lich King.
It's like, he's such a jerk. He's making fun of the lifeguard for being traumatized by a shark. It's like, yeah, imagine that, being afraid of sharks as a kid.
Yeah.
This episode, it had creative ideas. I do like the idea that there could be a monster in your swimming pool, but Dead Man's Float kind of did that better.
Yeah.
The pool shark was a very ridiculous episode, and they clearly used archive footage for the shark.
It's like, you can't use the Steven Spielberg Jaws machine, unfortunately.
I thought they would at least try to make a were-shark monster, but no, it's a guy that turns into a full shark.
Right. It's Animorphs.
Right. I didn't like the episode, and
wow.
Basically the twist is that Kai is also a Nana Uwe.
Yep.
And he gets back at the bully by turning into a shark and gives his girlfriend a ride in his shark form in the pool. It looks so stupid.
Yeah.
I've never liked this episode, but I know there are people who actually defend it.
Really?
I think it's because the concept is cool.
Fair enough. A were-shark is definitely the things you don't hear about.
It's Nana Uwe is a cool idea, but I didn't think they pulled it off well.
Yeah.
This will be our first D.
That seems fair.
Yeah, it had good ideas, but I remember giving it a bronze.
Okay.
Yeah, D tier. Pool Sharks D.
Alright.
Next is Lights Out. Remember this one, the haunted insane asylum?
Kind of. It's like the evil doctor, right?
Right, and the kids are on a YouTube channel trying to film like a ghost hunters show.
As someone who watches a lot of ghost videos still, I can... Oh, boy.
Yeah, Dr. Sturgis. He's like this Hugo Strange kind of doctor who
Yeah.
haunts the asylum. He like did terrible things to his patients.
Course.
And basically it's called Lights Out because the light affects the ghosts, but also the doctor would kill patients if they were up at lights out time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a cool idea. I do think the ending was super abrupt and confusing.
What happened in it?
Okay, so basically they're haunted in the asylum for a while, and the doctor takes one of the kids, and we see him almost kill him, but the kids rescue him in time, and he's like crazy now. He was like thoroughly broken, but
Jeez.
it turns out it was being watched by these other kids who think it's fake and want to go to the asylum and check it out themselves
Okay.
for like a here we go again ending.
Alright,
But
so, yeah,
I'm like, wait, so how did the kids get out of the asylum to upload this video?
They just did.
It's like, okay, so
They were just better.
it's like a here we go again kind of ending. I thought it was the weakest part of the episode, but it's like a basically creepy haunted episode.
How did they get the footage? Look, there's also the alternative explanation that the ghosts uploaded it in order to attract more, but I doubt they would be going for that.
Right. It's like the ghosts could lure in more, but it's implied the kids did live, but one of them's not gonna live well. So-
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like broken and he's like chanting this madness mantra, lights out, Dr. Sturgis is coming.
Okay.
I might give it a B.
Real with you talking like that, I was thinking C.
Well, I might. I will
high
put it above
C.
Alien Candy.
Yeah.
That's for sure. It was a decent episode.
Do ghosts use the internet? I think some do.
Yeah.
They're learning. If I've seen horror movies.
Here's the tier list if you want to see before we move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so Lights Out was an okay episode. I do think it's not as great as the others, for sure. But it had its interesting moments. I do like the knockoff Hugo Strange kind of ghost.
Okay.
Next is The Perfect Brother. We did this one together.
Yep.
Remember, it's the one with the family. They're all robots.
Yep.
And basically, they try to trick you into thinking that one of them is the experiment, and it's so obvious who it is. It's like they're two brothers. Basically, the brothers get along fine, but one of them starts malfunctioning, so his brother follows him and finds out that he's a robot. They live in a society where they're all robots that try to look human.
Right.
And basically the twist is he was the experiment because he's their pet human.
Yeah.
They brought him into their family to see if they could raise him, but they decided, no, he's too much trouble, and they put him in a crate to ship him back.
Nice.
It's a very crazy episode. The Perfect Brother. The good robot episode. Yeah, that's for sure. Unlike the other one, which is My Robot.
I remember, yeah, this finally should have a sequel. Read one of the few sequel-deserving episodes.
Right. I read that they were
no.
going to make a sequel called The Perfect Sister.
Right.
And we were going to see two sisters and imply that the brother would be back teaming up with the other
Interesting.
human sister. But unfortunately, the Discovery family canceled those plans.
Yeah.
The Perfect Brother is definitely a good episode. I love the robot factory. It is like so creepy. We see like the robots are like having these weird emotional meltdowns and
Right.
getting parts placed on them. There's like a cool jump scare where one of them stares directly at the brother, but he's like not moving.
Okay.
And we find out that his brother's a robot because his legs are like missing and he's got wires like out where his feet should be.
Yeah.
I will give this one an A. Perfect Brother. It almost made 10 out of 10, but I remember we gave it a 9 out of 10. Definitely better than Wrong Number, that's for sure.
Do you ever think of doing a review on Creeped Out? It's like a streaming version of Goosebumps Haunting Hour.
Oh, yeah.
Did you look at it? I feel like you did. Or at least tried to.
I did try looking at it. I didn't get too much into it.
Really?
Yeah, and not helping matters is that it's also owned by Netflix, who are
Oh, God.
infamous with their copyright blogs.
Yep.
Yeah, so I might not do it because of that.
That's fair.
Yeah, here's our tier list so far. Got a lot of S and A's and even B's.
Yeah, we're tied up there.
Not bad episodes yet.
Don't worry, we'll get to the bad ones.
Scary Mary. Remember this one? This is the one with the Bloody Mary knockoff.
Right.
Where basically you chant the Scary Mary's name in a mirror, and she takes you.
Yeah.
We find out Scary Mary's a psycho bitch who likes to steal pretty girls' faces and wear them.
Okay.
And she lives in like this Silent Hill dimension where she keeps the abducted girls as slaves. They're like these weird Dollotrons from Professor Pig.
Gotcha.
They have like creepy dresses and doll faces, and they're basically part of her collection of slaves. It is a cool one. The main girl's like boyfriend is like a prince that rescues her because they draw parallels to like fairy tales.
Of course.
Scary Mary is a cool episode, but I always hated the end credits song.
Oh,
yes. Pretty girl,
yeah.
boys.
Yeah, I can see why that would drive a person insane.
It's like, it is like so dark, but then we have this pop song
Yeah.
at the end. It's like, okay, guys, this isn't Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, kind of mixed up the tones there.
Scary Mary actually has a lot of good scary moments. Basically, the first episode is Scary Mary haunting the girl, because the girl actually feels sorry for her,
Right.
but in the end she's abducted because Scary Mary's a total monster
Yep.
who didn't have the same feelings towards her. And part 2 is basically the boyfriend solving the mystery and coming to save her.
Okay.
I do think Scary Mary's death was weird, where basically she tries to trick the boyfriend into taking her back by wearing the face.
Right.
He sees past her because Scary Mary's a conceited bitch, and clearly not like the girl.
Yeah.
And basically, she has this meltdown where she plays the piano while her house is on fire.
I feel like I kind of remember that scene for some reason.
Like, it's
Don't know
so
why.
weird. I do like the other slave girls like beg him to take them with him.
Right.
And basically, the creepiest scene is when the main girl knocks off one of their masks, and we see there's literally, like, no face. Is like a complete blank under them.
Wow.
It's like, yeah, that's how Scary Mary's magic keeps them alive.
Okay.
I will give it an A.
Alright, yeah, everyone's agreement that this ending song is awful.
Yeah, I made fun of that so many times.
Now, question from Anime Night. If you could change 3 endings of bad episodes of this series, which ones would they be?
Hang on. I'd definitely change
Yeah,
my
we'll change.
robot, that's for sure. My robot, I'd want a better twist ending. I think the bullies should have had the robot obsess and stalk them. I do want the zombie one to change. I think it could have been creepier. I wanted it to be scary, but it was funny in the episode. That's one I would change. And Alien Candy, I also didn't think was that creepy. Like, in the end, like, we find out they're, like, eating the dead aliens in their candy. And they have, like, this wacky freak out.
Okay.
It was weird. I would go for more creepy ending, like the aliens plan are still in motion.
Alright.
Okay, Scary Mary will be an A. It's definitely above the red dress, that's for sure.
Yep.
I definitely liked it. Now we're on season 2, Creature Feature.
Oh, that was
You
the one
did
I
this
reviewed. Yeah.
I remember
Body
watching-
horror. Fun.
This is the love letter to cheesy B movies.
Yeah, The Fly is the biggest inspiration, of course.
Right, the 50s Vincent Price Fly,
Yeah.
not Jeff Goldblum's with the dark gore.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the one with the tick monster. Basically, they find the haunted drive-in, which absorbs you into the movie.
Right.
And they go into this cheesy B movie, but the main kid is, like, infected by the virus in the movie.
And he comes back out in, like, part 2 and becomes the fly monster.
Right. I actually really liked this one.
Yeah.
It definitely a homage to the cheesy old B movies.
Yeah, and I will give them credit. They did a wonderful transformation sequence that still unnerves me.
Yeah, it was gross. It's, like, so funny because in the B movie it's over the top, but in the real world it's played dark.
Yeah.
It, like, really shows you the contrast of how far horror's evolved.
Exactly.
And, yeah, that gross thing with his fingernail comes off and the whole fly appendage is...
Yeah.
Like, his whole hand turns into, like, a fly claw.
Yep, I am weak to fingernail scenes ever since I've watched Higurashi When They Cry.
Yeah.
There is an awful scene in there that if anyone has seen the anime, they will know it.
I do like that. Basically, when they become a tick, there's actually a scene where the cops talk about getting shotguns to shoot him dead.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, that escalated quickly.
Yep.
Thought they drank him, but no,
They probably can if it's a fly.
yeah, the cops are gonna kill him, and his friends lure him back into the B movie to basically help find the cure in the movie to help save his friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were also some really dumb scenes. Like they have a crotch hit, and that's at one point one of the fly monsters get punched in the nuts. It's like, really, we're going there. I definitely had fun with this one, but I'm not sure if I'd give it an A or a B.
I'd say an A, actually.
Really? You want to say A?
Yeah.
Okay.
So hello, James M. Glad you could come.
Hey.
I don't think either of us have watched The Substance.
Okay.
I mean, Cat could have in his time.
Substance? No.
The Substance? Yeah.
I will put it... I put it under the red dress, actually.
It must be a newer film, given Yara is saying that it must win at least one Oscar. So
yeah, Creature Feature got like nominated for like best costumes and makeup.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it looked pretty cool, actually. Yeah, he looked monstrous. I didn't think it was weird, though, but the twist ending where basically he decides he wants to stay in the movie world. It's because he wants to be with, like, his movie crush and be a hero in the movies.
Yeah, which is completely fair.
Which, also kind of depressing that he leaves his whole life behind. It's like, dude, you're still in high school, man.
Look, if you're gonna get the dream ending, might as well take it.
Yeah, we'll give Creature Feature an A. Definitely a huge love letter.
Have you seen Martin Mystery?
I think I did at one point.
Yeah.
That was like the show I shared with Totally Spies.
Right. I think I saw a clip of it on Twitter, and when I saw it, I was immediately like, oh, hey, this is by the people who did Totally Spies, right?
Right. Because Martin Mystery, met them. They're like Totally Spies, but with X-Files mysteries.
Cool.
Next is Swarmin' Norman.
Yep.
You remember this one? The bully boy befriends bugs.
And the bugs fight back.
Yeah, then he becomes the bully. Like, this is one I do feel mixed on because of the anti-bullying lesson.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, Norman's life really sucks. Everyone picks on him and laughs at him. But then we're supposed to believe he's become a worse monster than the bullies. Like, basically his character progression happens, like, in time skips.
Okay.
And that was kind of a big problem for me.
That's always hard to get done.
What saves it are the insects, including our friend Manny.
Yep. Knew you'd bring him up.
Yep,
if
Manny.
You didn't, chat was already.
R.I.P. Manny. He died helping me escape the Cat Council. He was a good friend, and of course, an underrated haunting hour monster.
Yep.
Basically, Manny's like the leader of the insects, and the liaison talking to him and Norman and the bugs. Basically, Norman trains the bugs to fight. It's kind of an episode like Willard, who trained rats to fight people who attacked him. Yeah, it's a horror movie.
Yeah,
you probably never heard of it.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. I know the trope, though.
Yeah, sorry. Wolf's not as big a horror fan as I am.
As you can tell by the Creature Feature review I did with the body
R.I.P.
horror.
Manny. Yeah, you forgot Wolf. Manny died saving us.
Right. Makes me think back to Willard. That was what I said. Yeah, someone else knows of Willard.
Right. Swarmin' Norman, like, it has good ideas. The bug effects are, of course, the best part. It's like the bugs actually, like, swarm his house and break in through, like, the wiring and plumbing. And we actually see him, like, swarmed by bugs crawling all over him and eating him.
Yep.
There are people who actually told me, well, the bugs could have let him live. They just wanted to scare him. It's like, no, he's dead.
Yeah.
They were eating him, man.
I feel like they would want vengeance against their slave master, basically.
That was kind of the problem I had, because Norman's sins were bad enough to die for.
Yeah.
It's like, the bullies were, like, psychologically breaking him, and they get wedgied.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that was one of the problems. I will give this one a B, because it does have fans, and I can see why. I do like the insects.
B for bugs, as Shadowlink says.
Yeah, B for bugs. I'll put it above my sister the witch, that's for sure. Yeah, the bug effects are what save it. It is, like, a cool episode.
Yeah. I think that's what a lot of Haunting Hours... I don't know why I said it that way. But Haunting Hour did have a lot of great effects, makeup, sets.
Yeah, it was a huge step up from Goosebumps, that's for sure. There were some bad, but mostly good. They relied on practical effects. And Swarmin' Norman definitely had some great practical effects. I'm amazed they actually trained bugs for this.
Yep.
And the Manny puppet was cool. Oh, next is Flight. I don't think you've seen this one, Wolf.
I might have, actually.
This is the one where they go on a flight with the Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
And basically, one of the passengers is doomed to die, but he doesn't want to go, and so death is going to cause the plane to crash to basically kill him.
Yeah.
Final Destination style.
Of course.
And basically, the main kid hero tries to talk this guy into accepting death.
Right.
And he hasn't wasted his life. You can still do good by letting these other people live by going with death. And basically, it's actually an emotional horror story, surprisingly.
Right.
Yeah, this is where, he's afraid to die because he wanted to do so much still.
Of course.
And, basically the whole conflict is he doesn't want to go yet because he's not ready, because none of us are ever ready for death.
Of course not.
And I do death is, actually in the form of this sweet old lady, but through, these weird flashes, we see the Cloaked Reaper.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever it's causing the plane. Yeah, Final Destination style.
Underrated, but it shouldn't be, yeah.
I remember this was the first 10 out of 10 episode I ever gave for Haunting Hour.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. I really liked it. It is a nice emotional story, and the guy basically has this very grandiose send-off where he accepts going into... we find out he was afraid, but he's, going into heaven.
Yeah. Because
he does something good in the end.
Of course. He's redeemed.
Yeah, because basically, spoiler alert, the guy's an ass at the start.
I mean, of course, if he's willing to let all these other people die just so he doesn't.
Yeah, it's basically his atonement.
Exactly.
And yeah, I really like it. I might give it an S rank, actually.
That's where I felt like that's where this conversation was going.
Yeah, Flight.
Even from the start, it was already high.
Yeah, I will put it above Catching Cold.
Not above Afraid of Clowns, though.
And Afraid of Clowns is iconic.
Okay, fair enough.
Flight was a good episode. Yeah. It is S rank for sure. I'm sad I didn't put it on my top 10 best episodes.
Oh, well.
Oh. Next is Pumpkinhead. Oh, the Halloween special.
So, Spaceman, that episode went from top tier. We went from top tier like this to Intruders and Goodwill Toward Men. Yeah. We'll get there.
We'll get there. Wait till we're not in the final season yet. Pumpkinhead. This is the Halloween special where basically the kids try to steal pumpkins from Old Man Farmer Palmer.
Right.
But he has this weird collection of dummies with pumpkin heads, and we find out the pumpkin heads are actually kids he killed.
Oh, huh. Okay.
Yeah, he basically killed these kids and replaced their heads with his pumpkins because Farmer Palmer is actually a demon or something. It's weird. They show he has this demon claw hand that he hid in his pocket this whole time.
Naturally.
And basically, the kids steal these pumpkins even when Farmer Palmer warns them, don't steal my pumpkins, children.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, they kind of brought it on themselves by that point. Palmer lets them off with a warning, but they don't listen. They steal his pumpkins, and the pumpkin heads come to life and stalk the kids.
Yep.
And basically take them and add them to the kill count by turning them into pumpkin heads.
Okay.
Casey Rawl plays, the sister.
And yeah, this one definitely did deserve a sequel. I thought that's where it was going originally.
Yeah, it did, but the sequel sucked.
Oh, that's right.
The Return of the Pumpkinheads, which has nothing to do with the first one other than it takes place on the farm.
Yeah, okay.
I actually like this one because there's this actually good mystery where they try to pretend the brother could be saved and we don't know that he's dead yet. So they kind of extend that. There's a lot of creepy scenes with the pumpkin heads in the fog and in the farm watching them.
Yeah.
And basically the girl breaks in and she finds out her brother got his head cut off and planted in the ground to turn into a pumpkin. This is what Farmer Palmer's secret collection are actually human heads he turned into pumpkins.
Okay.
And the pumpkins he originally grew as pumpkins are replacing their bodies and taking them for their own.
Interesting.
And basically the girl gets captured and outnumbered by an army of them. And she dies too, with the twist ending showing she comes for the little brother who she left in the car sleeping.
Okay.
But spoiler alert, the sequel reveals he survived somehow. It's there was no way in hell he was getting out of that.
It's fine. He just learned how to drive.
It really pushed the boundaries for Haunting Hour though, because this one actually has a kill count.
Okay.
The pumpkin heads are dead children.
Yeah.
I might give the first one is definitely an A.
Okay.
I will give it an A.
The sequel will not be.
I will put it above Scary Mary, and wrong number too. Okay. Pumpkinhead's good Halloween special. Too bad the sequel sucks.
Yeah, he also doesn't show up in the sequel.
Yeah, Farmer Palmer dies off screen in the sequel.
Yeah.
We'll get to that one soon.
Brush with Madness.
Oh boy, the comic book story.
Yeah, this one had Dylan Minnette in it, though, right?
This is Dylan Minette's episode, yeah. Dylan Minnette plays like a crazy comic book fanboy who loves Alan Miller.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alan Miller, the greatest comic creator. And,
man behind Watchmen.
If you don't know, it's Alan Moore and Frank Miller combined into one guy.
Oh, God, not Frank Miller.
Basically, was a super fanboy, but he creeps out Alan Miller and unintentionally steals his brushes he left behind.
Yep.
And the brushes are magic, because whatever he paints in his amateur comic happens in real life, and he creates like this ultimate supervillain, the Mad Artist.
Rather than just return them.
Right, and the Mad Artist is like this dark man / Rorschach kind of creeper.
Yep.
Who basically stalks his creators and wants to kill them because he's a supervillain.
Yep.
And it is really cool. The art is like this weird Sin City kind of look. Yeah. Since, Frank Miller worked on
all the comic art shown in it was amazing.
It's amazing, and, like, basically he wrote, like, a serial killer, because he, like, splashes, like, an blood X on their doors to mark who he kills. And he's, like, stalking the kids. My one problem is the kids are total idiots.
Of course.
Like, at one time, he calls, like, his girlfriend that the Mad Artist is after him, and we see he's stalking her in his car, and what does she do? She gets off her bike and runs on foot.
Yes, I remember that.
What?
Yeah.
What? It's like, you have a bike, and you throw it away to run on foot, and the big shock, the car catches up to her.
That makes me think of Family Guy. Oh, sweet, a bike. Takes it and runs off.
Right? That was kind of like that.
Yeah.
Like, the girlfriend was so dumb. Okay. And then he tries to predict the future by painting it. And he shows the girl that the Mad Artist breaks into her house. So what does she do? Not believe him, goes to her house.
Right, yeah.
Where the bad guy's waiting to kill you.
Yeah, and this is after it's already been proven that these things have been happening.
Yeah. That's it. Corey was his name. Okay. Having super speed thanks to his flash. Yeah, and my least favorite part, though, was this stupid moment where he finds out the Mad Artist has taken the girl, and what does he do? Go confront him alone at a dark house.
Yep.
It's like, bro, you're not gonna call the cops.
You're not gonna get a weapon or anything?
It's like, dude, like, Rorschach has your girlfriend, man.
And then he has the giant saw blade thing in the
front,
right?
This is everyone's favorite part, the ending where he captures him in his hostel chamber and brings his chainsaw.
Yeah.
And basically kills them, and we find out it was all a comic by Alan Moore.
Yep.
Who was... Like, these were characters he was magically punishing all along, and basically, he puts the comic in the shredder, and it symbolizes the Mad Artist's buzzsaw.
Yeah.
And they confirmed the kids died. They were his playthings the whole time.
All because of one fan interaction.
Brush with Madness definitely has good ideas, but I just can't stand the idiot moments. That was the one thing why it costed a gold.
Well, look, it's forgiven when you realize it's all just a crappy draft that gets destroyed anyways.
Blacksmith Orange asks, what exactly was the twist trying to say? That they never existed. I think the implication was Dylan Minnette's character, Corey, was based on Alan Miller's, real stalker, and he was, doing a therapeutic comic to basically punish him.
Yeah.
It's what makes it scary is that we don't know if this is the real guy trapped in a comic or if it's just a fictional character with sentience.
Right.
And I think that's what made it good.
Yeah.
It's it definitely had good moments. Brush with Madness had a lot of dark moments, which really save it, but also succumbs to the idiot characters and horror stories way too often. I might give this one a B. Definitely higher than Nightmare Inn, that's for sure. Brush with Madness had good moments.
It should be above Game Over as well.
Really?
I do think so.
I thought you liked Game Over.
I like Game Over, but I will admit its faults.
Yeah.
And I think Brush with Madness is just better.
Brush with Madness is good because it has a lot of great dark moments and a lot of love for comic books. Spoilers, people. I do think Goosebumps did a better comic story, but that's a video for another time. Next is Sick. You remember this one? The boy is sick and he's trapped in a dome. The government seals him off because he has a monster virus.
Not really. Again, my brain went to a completely different episode after that.
Sick is a total mind screw. like the boy is like was sick with the flu and he's staying at home, but the flu is like causing weird things to happen, or he thinks he's seeing.
Right.
Like his room like alters and shifts all the time.
Okay.
And we find out like some like ET government agents are there putting him in like a bubble dome.
Yeah.
And we find out that there's a monster virus in his house. And basically, like, some weird supernatural characters are trying to warn him how to stop it. Like, his TV comes to life, and the news reporter says, "You have to stop the monster before the government blows your house."
Yeah.
And, like, it's a very trippy one. I do like the kid hero. It was really good. It's like a scary quarantine episode.
Right.
Where basically the sickness is, like, making you question reality. Like, what's actually happening?
Yeah.
Or is this all fake and in his head?
It's a mind screw episode.
Total mind screw.
Okay.
I do remember actually, I think I gave it a 10 out of 10.
Really?
Like, it was fun, but it was, like, also creepy for how good it was at its mind screw.
That's fair.
Though I might give it an A.
Okay.
I might give it an A. It's definitely under Pumpkinhead, that's for sure.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, I did like Sick. I do like it. I don't regret giving it a 10 out of 10.
Okay.
I put it under Pumpkinhead, that's for
Yeah.
sure. Sick was a good one. Fun mind screw, and everyone told me that this was the episode they watched during the Corona lockdowns.
Oh, man.
So befitting. Big Yellow, Mascot.
Oh, yeah, okay. I want to say this might have been the episode that actually got me into the series. I want to say that. I'm not entirely sure, but I do remember this one.
I agree, Shadowlink.
Fondly.
Very good episode.
Yeah.
Oh, Blacksmith Orange reviewed Sick back in 2020.
Nice.
We're on Big Yellow now, Mascot.
Yeah, the class. This has to be everyone's favorite.
Okay, for like the 2% of you who don't know, it's about basically two boys want to a new school mascot and replace Big Yellow, the old Muppet mascot, because they think he's lame. And basically, Big Yellow is trying to fight to keep his job back, and we slowly find out that there's more to this mascot than meets the eye.
Right.
Basically, Big Yellow's not a guy in a suit, he's a real monster.
Yeah, the final scenes.
Right, and it is a good episode, because it is so creepy. Like, they made Big Yellow so unsettling.
Right, and the music and dance he does as well. It kind of adds to the overall like a creepiness and vibe to him.
Right, I do like they humanize Big Yellow because he has a house and such.
Yeah, he has the little chained up room.
Oh, remember when the boy breaks in and he actually has poison death gas flood the room?
It's such a weird thing to have.
It's like some people ask, why were you complaining about that? Because it's weird, man.
Yeah, the only thing that makes sense is that he needs that to live. But even then, it feels like that just doesn't make sense.
Big Yellow did nothing wrong. He loves his gerb and didn't want to lose it.
They were trying to replace him.
I will say, Big Yellow definitely had actually sympathetic moments because he's like a real monster with nowhere to go. So basically that's his whole thing. But what makes him evil is that he wants to kill the kids.
Right. First he kills me,
Yeah,
Wolfie.
he kills Wolfie. You were a better dancer than he was, so he ate you.
Of course.
And then, like, he kills, like, the main kid. I think Willie. Willie was his name.
Oh, that scene. Yes, where he goes to the auditorium, just sitting there.
Sitting there in the spotlight.
Exactly. You expect it just to be the suit, even when he takes off the head. But then there's no one inside, and then quick shot to the face that moves.
Yeah, he can take his head off.
And then I think his body gets up as well.
Some people actually told me they theorized Big Yellow might actually be the ghost of the mascot haunting the suit. And that's how his head can cut off.
I think it's just a monster.
Yeah, I do think
Given, the scene we see later where all of them are in the stomach and there's actual stomach acid.
I mean, Jeddah can also take off his head and live. So, yeah, he's probably like that.
And then also, of course, the friend kid tries to call the other, and the phone ringing comes from Big Yellow, and he's just looking down at him.
What's your opinion on Mind Spirit endings? I don't know what that is.
I think it means Mind Screw.
Oh, Mind Screw endings. Yeah, I do think some can be good, but some can also be done badly.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're too confusing. I think everyone agrees Mascot is S rank.
Yeah.
Big Yellow is an icon.
Yeah.
An iconic monster.
What's scary is you don't know how exactly they digest. I don't think that's the scariest part. I think the scariest part is that he's actually eating them.
Yeah, he
that's,
ate them. We see his digestive system.
I think that's scarier than not knowing how he does it.
Yeah, the twist ending shows Big Yellow eats them and they're still digesting in there
yeah,
like
they're
a
still
Sarlacc
alive
pit.
in there, and the one kid's calling out for help.
We see the Wolfie kid is still in there too,
Yeah.
but he's like half melted.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're dying a slow, painful death like a Sarlacc pit.
Yeah, all of the people working that knocked it out of the ballpark.
Yeah, Mascot was great. They did imply there was gonna be a sequel, but thank Discovery Family for killing those plans.
I'm honestly glad there wasn't a sequel.
Yeah, I thought it ended on a great creepy note.
Exactly. A lot of these episodes that are like, yeah, they're perfect, they're amazing, they're the most iconic episodes. I don't like the idea that we should give all of those sequels because I like them standing on their own. Right. It makes it a lot more special to me.
It's like, no, that wasn't sweat they had on them. That was Big Yellow's stomach acid.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were being digested, Blacksmith.
Yeah.
Could it be both? Yeah, sure, why not?
Also, why would they be afraid of sweat? Like, they were, like, screaming in bloody terror, practically.
Yeah, and his phone dies.
Right.
Just made one last call.
Yeah, there's no way it was not stomach acid.
Yeah, Mascot is great, S rank, but I am putting it below Fear Never Knocks, because I do like Fear more.
I'm talking about endings where the protagonist gets punishments undeserved and cruel.
That depends, too. Sometimes it could be done, sometimes it could be done bad. Right. I think Ed and Eddie does a lot of bad ones.
Yeah.
Next is Bad Feng Shui, the snake monster.
Kinda.
You don't remember?
I'm trying to remember based off your review mostly.
Okay. This is the one with the Asian family. Like, the mom is like a control freak dragon lady mom.
Like the box or something that has the snake.
Yeah, she pisses off her daughter and basically causes like bad luck to happen, and the mom, I think, turns into a snake monster. Yeah. And, like, the snake moves the furniture. And it is a creepy monster. She's basically trying to do the right ritual to save her mom's soul.
Right, yeah.
It was, like, kind of a Mother's Day episode. I do think it's very weak. I don't remember a whole lot of it.
Yeah.
Outside of the trippy snake mutant thing.
Yeah. And honestly, if she was messing with the furniture, that does make sense.
Yeah, they remember it moves the furniture.
Yeah, well, the thing is about that is, look at the title, Bad Feng Shui. Feng Shui is a false art, basically, but the idea is that how you design a home, the directions of everything, they all matter, because direction is very important in Chinese culture. That's why you have, like, north, south, east, west as a prominent thing. If any of you have seen the Joy Luck Club movie or read the book, you will know that those directions are very important. And Feng Shui is taking that into a spiritual level in which wherever you put things and how you put them can bring good or bad energy. So it moving the furniture is it basically trying to take away any positive energy.
That's beautiful, Wolf. Unfortunately, they dumb it down to a generic monster fight.
Yeah, of course.
I'm going to give this one a D.
Yeah.
Yeah, D. I'm putting it below Pool Shark, too, that's for sure. Up next is The Hole. We did this one together, Wolf.
Yeah.
The Hole feels like an incomplete story.
Definitely.
This is one where they move into the house and a magic hole is dug or something.
It's just there.
And basically it like leaves them messages showing like an abusive father who may or may not have killed his family.
Right.
And the abusive father like possesses their dad.
Yeah, it's slowly corrupting him into, he starts wearing all the clothes and starts acting a lot worse.
Right. And yeah, he's basically acting like the guy we saw on the camera. This one felt like it got slaughtered by censorship because they couldn't come out and tell you the dad was an abuser.
Right.
And yeah, it was so confusing. I'm like, what the heck does the hole represent or whatever?
I guess it's just like a connection from the past, really. It's like a buried past undug, maybe.
Right. It's like, I thought well, like he like buried his family there or something and their spirits are coming up.
I mean, it could be.
Or like his spirit.
Yeah.
The Hole is a messy episode. I remember like, it didn't have a lot of scary moments. We never find out much about the abusive dad. It's like, which made it weirder because he's the villain.
Right, yeah.
It's like the villain's like mostly this off-screen vague threat.
Right.
And yeah, in the end, he possesses their dad and is like threatening them and might kill them at the end.
It kind of feels like he's gonna do the same thing as he did in the past.
Yeah, it's like a cycle of abuse or something.
Yeah, just a new cycle.
This one I'm gonna give it.
Yeah, premise is interesting. Plot and execution maybe not as good.
Yeah, they didn't make a lot clear. That was the problem. I'm gonna put this one on E. It's definitely not a.
Yeah.
You want F?
I was thinking D-ish.
I'll put it on high E.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
It's just a mess. That was my problem. I wanted to love it, and I did it with Wolf, but yeah, it was just all over the place.
Yeah, I think definitely giving these time to, like, just let these sit in the back of my head / forgetting them and revisit will allow me to look at them in a much deeper light, but even then, some of these are just still bad.
Terror in Amityville Hole. Yeah, kind of tried to be the Amityville Horror, but failed.
Ghosts protect people. They look out for us like guardian angels. Some ghosts.
Oh, that was
there are some malevolent spirits.
Yeah, I remember the mom said, it's a good thing we have ghosts, even though it's a ghost of an abusive father. The ghost of an abusive father is good, guys.
Yeah, no, there's definitely bad ghosts.
Up next is Scarecrow.
All right, we gotta talk about this for a while.
Scarecrow was a perfect episode.
And what even better is, was this the first one that did the alternate endings?
Yeah, this one had 2 endings.
Yes, I remember. I think we watched both when they came out.
We did, yeah. One where the hero burns the Scarecrow and doesn't let it get to him. One where the kid dies and becomes the Scarecrow too. Yeah.
Rather than just continue on and eventually die, he chooses to die then and there and become another spectator.
So. Yeah. Surprisingly, this one was kind of deep.
Yeah.
That one's surprising. It starts out like your generic evil Scarecrow story.
Right.
Halfway in, we find out, no, the guy is the Antichrist, and he's brought the apocalypse.
And the Scarecrow, the actor for the Scarecrow himself, he does it very well. He also looks pretty scary.
That guy was creepy.
And then when how he kills them, he just replaces them.
Yeah,
it disappears them.
Yeah, people vanish, and he says, like, this is how the world dies, not with a bang, but with a whimper.
Yeah, classic line.
He, that's what's scarier. He, kills them, and we never see how they die or
they're
purged.
They're just gone. And that's where the horror starts to ramp up near the end. And I think that's why they had the 2 alternate endings, because it really is, when you have nobody else around you, everyone you know is gone. How much hope can you hold on to? Right. And that's what the alternates are for. There's the one where
he does hold out hope.
Yeah, he'll persist, and he'll just burn the Scarecrow. Even if there's no one else out there, he'll go on.
And there's one where he breaks and gives in, becoming like his apprentice or something.
Exactly, or a companion, just to have somebody else.
Yeah, a lot of people debate this with me, but I do think he was like the Antichrist, because he strongly implies that.
I wouldn't say Antichrist, but he's
definitely an omen of death.
Yeah.
Yeah, he brings the end of the world, and it is so creepy because everything's eerily quiet and calm.
Exactly.
Like the world is dying and we don't notice.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say this is S rank.
Yeah. There's no way it's not.
Ooh, do I want it above Mascot and Fear Never Knocks?
I would put it above I honestly would say above Fear Never Knocks as well.
Okay, we'll put this one's...
I think the alternate ending helps.
This one's top of the lot. Scarecrow is S rank for sure.
Yeah.
One of the best episodes of the series.
Yeah. If it won any awards, it deserved them. If it didn't, it deserved them.
Yeah, Bailey Madison was also in this, and she was
like the little sister, wasn't she?
Yeah, she's the sister. Yeah. She's in all the good episodes. She fought Lily D, she fought the Scarecrow, and the
she
girl
just has a good agent.
Yeah, she has a good agent. Unlike some of the kids get bad episodes. Yeah. Scarecrow is top S rank, that's for sure. Oh, Dreamcatcher. This is the one with the evil Spider-Man in the dreams.
I kind of
remember he looks like Marilyn Manson, but with spider appendages.
Oh, yeah, okay.
This is one where with Apple Bloom going to summer camp.
Wow,
and,
okay.
Yeah, Apple Bloom was in this one. 3 girls are in summer camp. Well, one of is an idiot bitch bully named Meg. She's jealous of the other girls being friends.
I take it you shut up, Meg, in your review.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, basically, they build these dream catchers, but Meg, being a bully, sabotages them, and this inadvertently allows a dream demon into their nightmares.
Yeah.
And the dream demon, tries to kill them. If you die in the dream, you die in real life. Yep. And basically, because their dream catchers are destroyed, they have to deal with this thing all summer and try to figure out how to overcome it. Okay. And basically, a lot of nightmares a lot of weird dream sequences, and the Dreamcatcher is a very sick and twisted villain.
Yeah.
He's basically this animal with a male body, and he's like preying upon these little girls.
Of course.
Basically, it's implied this thing is like a demon that haunted an Indian burial ground, and the Dreamcatchers like ward him off.
Right, well, that's what Dreamcatchers do if you've seen any other media.
Yeah, basically the girls try to stop him by joining in their dreams like Freddy styled for Dream Warriors to face him. And one of my favorite scenes is when they go in his web and we see there are lots of children's shoes and clothes on the webs, implying he ate a lot of them.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, this guy is a killer, man.
Yeah, they lose, don't they? It's a bad ending.
No, we find out, like, Meg also, like, they got back at Meg by sabotaging her Dreamcatcher, and she ends up in the dream, and she gets her karma because she's trapped in the web while the two girls had the wristwatches to wake them up, while Meg didn't, and the Dreamcatcher eats the boy.
That's I remember the darker ending.
Yeah. It's like, if you were awake, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, oh god, what a good line.
Yeah, that one was good. I do remember, like, some flaws. Like, I did hate the abrupt ending. Like, are the girls gonna survive now? Because that thing is still after you, kind of. I might give this one an A. A lot of people would want an S rank for Dreamcatcher.
Okay.
But, yeah, I think I'll give it an A.
Alright. Also, I will be taking my leave for a bit.
How
I
come?
have to pee.
Thanks for sharing, Wolf. I can wait for you to come back.
Yeah, it'll be quick.
You want me to put Dreamcatcher above Game Over?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dreamcatcher's a really creepy episode. Freddy Krueger plus Marilyn Manson plus spiders. A lethal combo, James. Yes, I remember you said that. Fucking scary. Blacksmith Orange agreed that the Marilyn Manson Dreamcatcher was creepy. Yeah, and Griselda. Oh, we're on the most evil sorcerer. I don't think Wolf's seen this one.
I think I saw your review of it.
This is the one with Darkseid as the evil sorcerer, Michael Ironside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Michael Ironside plays like this abusive warlock master who abducts children. And basically the sorcerer's apprentice wants to become a master like him, but he's clearly using them and not giving a crap about them and their feelings. This one has very vivid imagery. I would describe it as more a dark fantasy than a horror. Because basically this is where he meets his arch nemesis, Griselda.
I remember that name.
Griselda!
I think that was one of your lines you
basically,
on that one.
His abused kids, like, team up with Griselda to double team him.
Right.
And Darkseid gets turned into a bug and squashed.
Yep.
But basically, Griselda turns out to be the real most evil sorcerer because she also abuses the kids.
Yep.
And we find out that Darkseid casted her away because she was worse than him. Yeah, this one has had like a real fantasy angle.
Right.
I hate the climax where basically they trick Griselda by having her sniff knockout drops or something. It is so anticlimactic. Like, that's how you take down the most evil sorcerer. And like, what's worse is it's a two-parter.
It was a two-part.
Yeah, it was a two-parter. I think it's
actually
because
that makes sense. One to set up one to defeat the
Michael Ironside is the first villain, and then Griselda takes over as the villain. This one had creepy imagery too, because at one point Griselda rips out the kid's eyes and like shows them to him.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of remember that.
I do remember Michael Ironside also ripped out the girl's tongue.
Like, jeez.
And he's like having it move around and flail around to taunt her with it. It's like, yeah, these were like pretty full-blown abusers.
Yeah, I'm not feeling bad for any of them.
Is that, yeah, you don't feel bad for when the evil sorcerers get their comeuppance.
Yeah, it feels like a twist on like Merlin and Vivian.
The twist ending was also lame, where we find out Griselda wakes up in modern day, and it's like, does this mean anything when her arch enemies are long gone?
Yeah.
I might give it a C, honestly.
Okay.
I remember it being Bronze Skull territory.
Both of them, or are
I'll put them
both
Alien
individually?
King. I'll put both.
Okay.
Yeah, I count them as one story whole.
Okay.
Oh boy, stage fright.
No.
We made it to a bad episode.
Princess Cadence, no.
Oh, yeah, Cadence was in this, your favorite Brit McKillop.
Yeah.
And she was a total dork. The stage fright is the one where the kids have a haunted stage play of Hansel and Gretel.
Yep.
And basically, they trick you into thinking one of the students is a magical witch killer, and surprise, it was none of the characters.
It was someone else.
It was this random woman who shows up at school plays to kill the cast.
Yep.
And I hated this one. It was so unfunny. Like, the comedy was cringe, and, like, the show falls apart, and they look like idiots.
Right. And then everyone dies.
It's, like, so weird. They have, like, a stupid joke, and then the witch is, like, killing and mutilating people in some scenes. I remember she, like, broke one girl's spine.
Yeah.
This one's a total F.
Oh, man. Back-to-back witch episodes.
Yeah, the stage fright was lame, and the twist is, like, we find out, oh, she didn't eat the children, she ate their parents, and I guess she attacks the audience at the end.
Yeah, she just kills them all.
This was dumb. Britt McKillop was in this one, and she was, like, a total sassy dork.
Yeah.
Like, she was pissed off because she got to play a tree when she wanted to be Gretel.
Of course.
Yeah.
I would have had the twist where it revealed the first victim was actually the witch, not actually show her death. Just say she was missing to make you think she is not, but actually is. That's an interesting way to rewrite that.
Oh boy, Night of the Mummy. This one I have mixed feelings on still. This is the one where...
with Seth.
It was Seth and Seti, who we find out, like, the boy is, like, tied to the mummy, and, like, the mummy just wants to be reunited, which is why he kills several innocent people.
Right? But it's okay, because he should die to be with his brother.
Yeah, he, like, accepts his death, and it, like, has a really unfortunate implication.
Yeah.
It's like, because I don't fit in this world, so I should just die and be with my brother.
I can't believe the hub kind of did that twice.
Yeah, it was bad. Night of the Mummy's a mess. I like the mummy parts because I'm a sucker for killer mummies, but it makes no sense when the mummy was a good guy all along.
Look, he just missed his brother, okay?
I might put this one on F, but I think it's above stage fright for sure.
Probably.
Night of the Mummy was just a sloppy story.
Yeah.
Oh, like the astronaut episode or Spaceman, we're getting to that one.
Also a fan of the Frankenstein encounter.
Oh, yeah.
First things first, the ending song of Scare Mary Be Better here. Second, I love your interpretation of the episode. It's still one of my faves.
In fact, I read the picture of Dorian Gray. Oh, yeah, we're on Headshot.
Okay.
You remember this one? The one where Ariel Winter becomes a model, but the modeling agency is run by Satan, who gets your picture and your soul on a perfect headshot.
Right.
And basically, the more she acts up, like in a similar fashion to the picture of Dorian Gray, the uglier your sins are, the uglier your portrait gets. And basically, her headshot becomes a monstrous-looking demon. And we find out Gracie is, like, actually this total bitch who hid behind her shy, nice girl persona and basically is easily corrupted by Satan. Like, yeah, she does bad things and is encouraged to be a terrible person.
Yeah.
All for her, like, her cheap fame because she wants to be, like, the next top model or something.
Yeah.
But at the cost of her soul, making her ugly on the inside.
Yeah. Kind of funny that this proves what old people thought of cameras, as in, if they snap your picture, they're going to steal your soul. Kind of proves that, right?
Hubel and Jaden's story, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX was way better than The Night of the Mummy.
Definitely.
I'll even down to the more
story.
PG or G-rated ending. So
the cruelest episode, made me jump. My sister loves Headshot. I was traumatized.
So a lot of people felt sorry because at the end, like, she was supposed to erase the headshot, but her best friend did it for her, but that backfired and gave her hideous demon face in real life in the end because her friend wanted to save her from Satan, but made the choice for her. But Gracie was supposed to make the choice, so she gets cursed.
Right.
And she's now ugly. And some people told me they felt sorry for her, but I'm like, this is kind of supposed to be a karmic twist.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we find out the devil basically says she just gave her some inspiration to be evil, but Gracie made the choice.
Exactly.
It's like, this is who Gracie actually is.
Yeah.
And I actually like that. She's not this shy, wholesome girl. She is a shallow bitch.
Right.
And the moment she got fame, she full-heartedly embraced evil.
Right. It's very slight corruption in which it just draws out your worst aspects, but everything is still yours. These are still her thoughts.
Yeah. Basically, it's a don't be evil kind of story, like a morality lesson for kids, because it made her ugly. And yeah, I like the twist where we actually finally see the full form of her, and it's like so gross and scary. She's like telling some newspaper guy, "See that? That's me."
Right.
And she's like deformed and hideous.
Right.
It was a creepy ending. I think I might give this an S rank.
But damn.
She deserves it. I was like, oh yeah, she was a bitch all along.
Right.
It's like, that was the whole point. Like, people say, I felt sorry for her. It's like, she was a bad person deep down. That was the whole point of the episode.
Right. Also agreed, Shadow Link. It is a whole reveal who the true personality is.
Yeah, she's actually the villain.
Right.
It's like, Gracie, like all the devil did was give her like a push, but she made the bad choices.
Yeah.
Like, she poisoned her friend. She got another friend in trouble cheating on a test, and she like completely backstabbed her bestie.
Right.
And yeah, and she basically decided not to delete the headshot. Her best friend had to for her, but that wasn't supposed to be her choice. It's like very tragic look at how evil makes you ugly.
Yep.
So I think I will give this an S rank. I think I might put it before Catching Cold, at least. Headshot is awesome. It is one of my top episodes. If the Headshot looked that first. Alright, the return of Lily D.
Yep.
We're already here. This was our last Haunting Hour review. You know, before the movie.
Yeah.
This is Lily D's return, where she's adopted by this new girl who fixes her up, and we're tricked into believing the power of love touched her heart. But as soon as the girl like gets other interests, she becomes a yandere for her.
Yeah. Well, she gets like the small bird, and then it's killed.
Yeah, she adopts a bird. She gets like other dolls, and she also like tends to her grandpa.
Yeah,
and like
that's right. Where she
like
takes
Lily D pushes grandpa down the stairs.
I remember that. Yes,
and I remember she actually like when the doll maker tried to stop her, like she chucked like a fishbowl at her head. Which
that's right. They did
almost killed her.
Yeah,
yeah. The doll maker came back and finally confronts Lily D.
Right.
And basically, the little girl finally realizes Lily D is not the good friend she thought she was.
Right.
And we get this, like, total horror movie showdown where they're alone in the house together.
Yep.
Yeah, Return of Lily D is great. This was actually much better than the first.
Yeah.
Because Lily D actually gets character development.
Yeah, it's definitely a good continuation of the story.
Right. Lily D almost reforms, but we find out she's like too far gone and evil and selfish.
Not deserved sequel.
Right.
Yeah, it probably didn't deserve... Lily D probably didn't deserve a sequel, but the one we got is still amazing.
Well, really, you did show that the twist was she was still alive, so I figured a sequel would have happened. It's like, yeah, the killer's still alive and still out there, so
I guess.
Seeing her being adopted by a new girl isn't that far-fetched.
Yeah. Who else ships Lily D and Slappy? Jeez.
Ew.
I would not, because I think Lily D was built as like a teenager.
Yeah, Lily D's underage,
and
man.
Slappy's like a failed comedian.
R.L. Stine revealed his backstory. He's actually a 1,000-year-old wizard trapped in a puppet body.
Okay, that just sounds stupid.
Return of Lily D, I will give S rank too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was much better than the first. I will put it under Catching Cold. Return of Lily D was great, and a grand finale, because Lily D actually dies in this one.
Yeah.
She, like, beheads her and chucks her head into, like, a boiling pot.
Yeah.
Though, it always weirded me at the end where all the dolls are, like, singing or something.
Well, yeah, the witch is dead.
Yeah, that was kind of what that was.
Dead. Ding dong, the witch is dead.
Hang on, I gotta use the
Alright.
restroom.
Alright, I'll be here with you, chat, then.
Yeah,
So
Wolf can answer questions.
Fills me with happiness seeing so many S and A ranks. Yeah, it just kind of was bound to happen because overall the series is really good. A shame it could not get another season. And also a much bigger shame that its final episode is, of course, Goodwill Toward Men. When we get to that, I hope we tear it open. Totally agree, yeah. It seems like we're getting to a lot of the much better episode. Actually, no, I say that, but then we have Grampires, the cast, the Weeping Woman. Yeah, we're definitely going through mixed territories again. I see the episodes that I really love and remember that I've been confusing up other episodes with. I know there's some coming up that Cat really likes. No way Spores was the second to last episode of the season. That is horrible. Oh, that is such a shame. Oh, man. When streaming in, where's House Cat? I think House is still with us. I don't think I've drawn House yet. When streaming in Brazil, brought hunting our Uncle Howie was the final episode. So that's probably a much better ending on the set list than Goodwill Toward Men.
All right, I'm back. We're finally entering season 3 with Grampires. Remember Christopher Lloyd, the vampire? This is the one where 2 kids go see their grandpa and find out the retirement home is for monsters.
Yep.
And yeah, basically the vampires try to eat his kids because they weren't supposed to show up this time.
Right.
And we find out Christopher Lloyd's a good vampire, and he basically helps fight to save his grandkids.
Yep.
It is a pretty funny episode, honestly. We did this one together.
I do remember that, yes.
No, wait, I did it with Duck Brown.
Yep.
Yeah, because Duck Brown shared a similar resemblance to someone in this episode.
I don't know what you mean.
Is it true wolves hate dusty rooms? Clean this mess up, cat, or you're fired. Grampires. What would you rank this one, since we did see this one together?
Yeah, we've seen it together. The problem is me remembering a bunch of it.
It did have some funny moments, but also some missed jokes, I do think. It's like, oh, one of the vampires, like, looks at, like, a sale on blood or something. Like, I remember the boy threw, like, toilet paper at one of the old lady vampires.
Grampires is a fun comedy episode, plus can't go wrong with... Yeah, you cannot go wrong with Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd's a legend.
Yeah.
Man, he was great. And, of course, he was great in The Haunting Hour. He was, like, one of the biggest guest stars they had.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like their Goosebumps' Adam West moment.
Yeah.
He's like this huge celebrity, and he can't go wrong, man.
Right. Probably an A.
I will put A. I remember we gave it like 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
There were some jokes we didn't laugh at, but yeah. All right. What would you say? Like before creature feature, red dress?
Where is the... trying to think, because... probably around Pumpkinhead.
Oh, around Pumpkinhead.
I'd say so, yeah.
Okay, part 1 and 2 there, because I just count these as 2 stories.
Right.
I count these as the same, okay? Yeah, sorry, we're going to count 2-parters as one whole story.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Grampires was definitely fun. Christopher Lloyd was the best part, of course.
I mean, naturally.
I remember they were playing like a bingo game over his grandkids' lives.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was the crazy climax.
Yeah.
Christopher Lloyd never loses a bingo. Oh boy, the cast. You never saw this one. This is their Telltale Heart episode.
Right.
Basically, like, Rowley's back, and he's another troublemaking fat kid.
Of course.
Or basically, he and these idiot bullies, like, egg an old lady's house, but he accidentally gets hurt and breaks his arm, and he lies and says he was trying to stop them and got beat up. Or he gets a cast and becomes, like, a hero, but the old lady sees right through it and basically curses him because he starts hearing things in his cast. Like, he hears, like, a rat's nest and her cat stalk him. Yeah. This one was cool because it's basically about guilt, because, like, the cast is supposed to be like the beating of the hideous heart.
Right.
Where basically he hears noises from it, and cats are, like, stalking him and clawing him for it.
Don't they... Isn't there an actual scene where, like, a mouse does pop out of it?
Yeah, like a rat tail.
Yeah.
Like, slips in. It's like, creepy.
Yeah.
It was a total psychological horror episode.
Okay.
There was, like, no big monsters, but it definitely had, like, this creepy vibe.
Yeah.
It's, like, it's kept very vague, too, if the old lady's, like, a witch who cursed him, or if it's all his guilt.
Right.
And basically, Raleigh slowly goes nuts all throughout the episode.
I mean, yeah, it would drive a person nuts, as we've seen in the original story.
The darkest part is, like, he has this freak out where he imagines the old lady's ghost, like, haunting him, and he almost saws his arm off just to get rid of it. And,
I remember that.
Yeah, basically the paramedics come, and we find out in the twist ending he's, like, completely broken, and he's, like, imagining rats everywhere.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that's what he was.
Yep. He was going to saw his arm off.
Yeah.
Actress that portrays the old lady is gold. Did a great Telltale Heart style episode. Definitely S or A.
Yeah, I do like it. Really went real dark.
Yeah.
I love the cast. I did give this one a 10 out of 10, if you can believe it or not.
I'd say S.
It's their telltale heart.
Right.
I will put it like on the low end of S though.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'll put it after Return of Lily D. The cast is S rank.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Good psychological horror. Good telltale heart kind of guilt drama.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never saw that one?
I think I did.
Okay.
Again, I've seen probably all of them. There's probably some that have slipped my purview, but it's just remembering them is my big problem.
Well,
I haven't seen these in years.
Blacksmith Orange says it's by the same person who wrote Mascot.
Okay, no wonder it's so good.
Yeah, good writer.
Yeah.
Next is The Weeping Woman.
I remember doing this review.
Yeah. The ghost of La Llorona haunts some kids, and this one confused me because they imply that La Llorona is possessing the mom.
Yeah, there's weird parts of that in the episode.
Yeah, okay, so basically this kid is staying at like his friend's house while his parents are away.
Yeah.
And he tells them about La Llorona because they're like selling the statue of her at a garage sale.
Right.
And the friend's mom is like going through a divorce, and she acts like La Llorona or something, which allows La Llorona to possess her.
Right.
I think that's what they were implying.
Yeah, but then she's also a real entity.
Yeah, apparently La Llorona comes and basically does what she does in a legend, drown her kids.
Right.
Because she's so depressed and suicidal, she commits like a murder-suicide.
Yeah, I think I went into not the lore, the legend.
Yeah.
When I was originally doing it.
I do like the monster design. She looked creepy. She's like completely wet and like deformed and bloated.
I still don't understand the weird noise she made when she was retreating.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically a Mexican folklore.
Yeah, it's just the story of La Llorona.
This was interesting, but I get confused because they imply that the mom is like tied to her somehow. Like either
she also gets upset when the statue breaks. I'm pretty sure.
Right. It's like either her depression released her, or she's like being possessed by the ghost.
Yeah.
Because the mom and La Llorona like keep disappearing and appearing where the other was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at one point the kid has like a dream vision where he sees like the mother crying, but when he sees her, like it's La Llorona's face glaring at him.
Okay.
The movie in the Conjuring verse was bad. Yeah, that was bad.
And then of course there's the ending where the husband comes back and everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Yeah, La Llorona just disappears.
Yeah.
that weirded me out. It's like, okay, so did he not see the kids like being taken by her?
Nope, he just happened to cross them.
And yeah, everything, like dad comes back and they fix their marriage. And I guess mom's not depressed and she throws out the statue, but we see, the statue was really crying, meaning she was real.
Right.
This one I might put on B or C.
I was thinking either like low B, high C.
I'll put a high C.
Okay.
The Weeping Woman had some confusing moments. That was my problem. Yeah, we'll put it high C.
Okay.
Sorry, guys, but I think the Haunting Hour didn't fully pull off that character.
Nah. It is definitely a good legend, though. You should all at least read like a summary of it. Either version of it's fine. There's like a couple versions, of course, as with every legend. Interesting
monster, but a very sloppy execution.
Yeah.
I remember you gave it like a 7 out of 10.
That makes sense for me.
All right. Next is Intruders.
Yep, the Changeling.
Oh boy, this episode I actually used to like, but
really
rewatching it, no.
Wow, okay.
So basically, we meet Eve, played by that girl from Hunger Games. Not the main one, the little sister.
Of course not.
Where basically, she gets a new baby in her family, and she's jealous of it because the parents shower it with attention over her. And she thinks that her family doesn't love her anymore, where she befriends the fairies, the fae folk, who basically offer her a better life if she comes with them, and all she has to do is kill the baby.
Right. Definitely the Changeling lore there.
I thought the parents were awful in this.
Well, yeah, they just, they completely shower the other one with affection and don't give a crap about their daughter.
It's like, yeah, it's like, I liked the phase, like, the fairy girl was pretty sexy, but they basically make her this 100% irredeemable monster.
Yeah, they're fairies. Fairies have not always been good.
Like, well, it's shocking because she acts like she's this friend and caring, and he's like, oh, we just need you to kill the baby. And it's like, kind of a total 180 from her friendship.
I think there was that abrupt turn in the scene.
Basically, it's Eve thinking about her morals and who's her real family.
Exactly.
There's like one nice scene where the dad tries to make amends with her, but it like comes very late because she's contemplating killing a baby.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I think you kind of held off too long, guys.
Right.
We find out, of course, they don't kill a baby. Of course not. She betrays the fairies, but Eve forgot to lock the iron gate, which wards off the phase.
Yeah.
And they all die in the end.
Yeah, the iron gate being another reference to old fairy legends where iron is their weakness.
I will say, I did like the CGI shot of all the creepy fairy eyes in the forest.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. I like the dark fantasy, but this was a bad episode.
Yeah.
It's just so mean-spirited. And our main character contemplates killing a baby, and we're supposed to sympathize with her.
I will actually give it not credence. I will give it some not flack.
Yeah, it did have awesome cinematography.
I don't think that's bad, honestly. The killing the baby, because again, it's using the lore and the history of fairies for the episode, and I honestly appreciate that.
Yeah, I do like the Haunting Hour wasn't afraid to use real fairies.
Yeah,
like
given how dark they are.
Real fairies are terrifying.
Especially Changeling, because Changeling lore is just that messed up. It is a fairy will go into a newborn, get rid of the baby, and then they will take the form of it so they can get the love of the humans or whatever.
Yeah, they imply they did this with Eve.
Right.
Because, like, they say, like, Eve's a fae folk like them. That's why... All right, would you put this on E or F?
Jeez, you are putting it really
okay,
low.
what would you do?
I was thinking like C or D.
I'll put it on D, but low D.
That's fair, okay. I think that's a good...
I did not like this episode.
We're on like two opposite ends here. What the heck?
Yeah, Cat's gone to the dark side, folks.
The whole ending could have been avoided. She could have just denied Eve's offer and not go after her with the iron.
Yeah, she didn't have to attack her, too. But she did. And that kind of doomed the family.
Yeah.
D or E for me, really? Okay. I'll put it on low D.
Yeah.
And Yara Ultra really loves folklore.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, Intruders had an interesting idea, but very bad at the moralities.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, next is Spaceman.
The other alternate endings.
Right. This is where an antisocial loser kid who loves space gets a space helmet and hears voices talking to him on it. He thinks it's an alien, but it turns out to be a ghost of a dead boy who once wore that helmet.
Isn't the skeleton still in the house?
Yeah, his mom went nuts and kept his corpse in his old room. And basically, he's been using the other space helmet to contact him because it's a two-set. And yeah, he basically tries to meet this kid and finds out he's dead, and he's like a skeleton.
Yep.
It's like a total reverse of the Norman Bates, where the mom has the corpse and is tending to it still. This one also has two alternate endings. One where the boy befriends the space kid and likes it, and one where he's held against his will, being locked in the room.
Yep.
It's like, I understand wanting to go for the darker ending.
Cat hated this episode, really.
Yeah, I did.
I could see it, honestly.
It's another, like, Intruders, very mean-spirited. Like, basically, the parents are total dicks. They act like their kid's a freak because he won't socialize, and I'm like, why the fuck don't you teach him how to socialize?
That's a sad truth that we have to contend with, unfortunately.
So yeah, basically, at one point, the parents, like, consider sending him to a funny farm because he hears voices. And, like, basically he tricks them and kind of runs away from home, and the parents, like, don't do anything to stop him.
Right.
It's like the dad thinks he's just playing another game.
Yeah, I think they also... Him going to the house, I think, is also well done, because it doesn't have, like, sinister music. It has, like, the upbeat, like, yes, this is finally going to be a happy ending. He's going to meet this friend, and then...
Bam.
Skeleton.
He's a ghost.
He's dead.
I agree. It's not one of the worst, but it's definitely a weak one.
Yeah. Also, sorry for that clap.
Yeah,
For
right next to the mic.
For headphone users, yeah, sorry to break your ears.
Okay, so Spaceman did have interesting ideas, I will admit.
Yeah, exactly. The execution, probably not.
Yeah, I don't like it, and I think it's kind of mean because it's about kids who have trouble making friends.
Yeah.
And basically treats the boy like a freak, and when you really think about it, the good ending where he basically plays with a corpse in the end of his own free will.
Yeah.
That kind of bothered me.
Yeah.
And they tried to play it up like this happy ending.
Oh yeah, he finally has a friend. It's just that the friend is a skeleton.
And basically enabling mom holding her dead son for a year.
Yeah.
He's like rotten to the bone.
Yeah, I remember.
So yeah, I might give this one an E. I will.
That's fair.
I will put it above the ghostly stare. That's for sure.
I think you should put it above the hole.
Oh really?
I think the ending
I
is
like
actually
the space stuff. Yeah.
I just like the ending really. At least the happy, not the ending, the run up to the house kind of thing.
Right.
It really
space
was
set.
kind of built up to that too. Yeah.
Yeah. It had a really good build up towards that.
Exactly. Yeah. Also, hello Kevin. It is going good.
Hey, Kevin Miles is back.
Parents, wait, come here. We love you. Lets him go away.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh boy, next is Red Eye. Remember this with the shadow owl?
Yes.
The weird thing that pops up and photobombs her dad's photos.
Oh, yes. I think I looked up the myth on this one, too.
Okay, so basically this girl has a dad who's traveling, and he sends her postcards, but she starts to realize on his pictures...
He's not alone.
He's not alone. There's a demon following him.
Some of the photos just get hilarious.
The Photoshop is so bad. It looks like they're chilling and hanging out together.
She's getting a couple brewskis.
Yeah, basically, her family is being haunted by this demon thing.
Yeah.
And basically, it's stalking her and her family. And she's, like, trying to find out what it is and how to stop it, but he keeps getting closer in each passing picture.
Right, and of course she's helpless to it because they're only communicating through postcards.
Right. One time they try to call her, and we get this cool scene of the Alps, like, shadow crawling behind her. And it's almost scary, but then when she looks behind her, he, like, dashes off.
I do remember that.
It's like, wait, you can go fast this whole time?
Right, just kill her there.
So yeah, he's basically, for those of you who don't know, an Alp is a sort of an incubus. Yeah. Which makes it trying to stalk the little girl much creepier. Because, yeah, they don't tell you what it does, but if you know incubus lore and what Alps do, it definitely has some fridge horror there.
Yep. I don't find anything on it. Looked it up and it just let me say alkaline phosphatase.
Yeah, the Alp does have its creepy moments because it's like this fucked up shadow kind of thing.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like Jetta.
Yeah.
Basically, it's stalking the family, and it's stalking the family and spying on the dad, and it's basically tied to the dad somehow, and that's what the girl's trying to find out. And we find out that the Alp possessed her dad, and in the twist ending, he reveals himself and kills her.
Yep.
Yeah, and possibly the mom too, since we never see her face.
Yep.
This one had interesting ideas and creepy stuff. I actually did used to like this one, but watching it for my review show, I kind of realized what a mess it was.
More sleep paralysis demon that drinks breast milk. That one sounds familiar.
That does sound right.
I'm looking up. Apparently part of the origin go back to a word that translates to nightmare.
This one I might give a C. Maybe low C.
That's fair.
Yeah, it had interesting ideas.
The photos are just too hilarious.
Yeah, it was unintentionally funny so many times.
I think the first one is fine, but when it gets closer and closer, yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like this Slenderman kind of thing.
Yeah.
But on those that's scary. On this, it just looks so bad.
Just like
the Cuddy blacks out from Tales from the Dark Side. Yeah, I remember that. People want me to review that.
It should.
All right, next is My Imaginary Friend. Did you ever watch this one?
This is one I think I did.
This is the one with the little boy who still has an imaginary friend despite going on to high school soon. And basically he's like going this coming of age where he has to grow up, but the imaginary friend is a toxic influence on him.
Right.
And basically trying to turn his trying to turn his real friend to the dark side.
Yep.
They're like causing mischief and trouble, and basically his brother is trying to bring him back on the good side.
That's right.
And basically his brother and his imaginary friend act as his shoulder angels.
Right.
His brother's good and trying to convince him to be a nice guy. The imaginary friend is a toxic psychopath who threatens to kill the brother.
Yep. Sad ending, though.
And yeah, basically it's his morality struggle and growing up.
Yeah.
We find out in the twist the brother is also an imaginary
and he
family.
looks so sad disappearing too.
Like, I don't want to go.
And they're just gone.
Like, he did it before Spider-Man. Yeah, it's sad. But yeah, basically the boy admits that he does have to grow up and he's letting both his imaginary friends go.
Yeah.
I actually really love the villain in this because he is creepy. Like, the villain, he's this fun bad boy who's cool to hang around, but then he starts revealing his ugly colors as the show goes on. Like, he almost drowns the big brother.
Right.
And like, you think you can stop me? I'm more real than you.
Yeah.
Like, he turns into, like, this total yandere for his best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, very sad ending. Basically, the brother is the good angel, while the other is the bad devil in a way. And yeah, the brother is erased along with Travis. Yeah, there's like this cool confrontation at the barn where he has to choose the good one or the evil one.
Yeah.
And he makes the right call and chooses good bro. And Travis is finally gone, but unfortunately he wants to grow up and let go of his good brother, imaginary friend. And we find the twist that our hero is also imaginary. And he doesn't want to go because he loves it.
Of course not.
Like, well, yeah, he's his brother.
Right, exactly. Or was made to be his brother.
Yeah, believe it or not, I don't think there's, like, any spooky stuff. There's definitely dark moments, but I don't think, like, a horror story. It's more of a psychological story.
Yeah.
And there's, like, one, like, a monster under his bed, which, like appears for, like, a brief minute. But overall, Travis was kind of the villain of the story. He's basically a corruptor trying to steer the boy towards the dark side. And yeah, it's all his moral struggle and coming of age. This one, I actually might give an S rank to.
That's fair.
I really liked it. Are there any clues about the twist ending? Yeah, the dad never sees the brother. He never interacts with him at all. That was actually foreshadowing that he's not really there. And yeah, they tell us Travis is imaginary right at the start. But we find out, like, there are clues that the brother isn't there because the dad doesn't interact with him. None of the friends ever address him when they're in the scene together. And, like, at one point, like, the Travis actually interacts with him.
Right.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Well, there's also, again, there is the line of the I'm more real than you are thing.
Right.
That is another kind of clue.
Travis was getting more imaginary power because the main kid likes him.
Yeah.
This one I will give an S rank to, actually. I really liked it. It has one of my favorite villains. I think I will put it above Headshot, actually. Very good. My Imaginary Friend's an underrated episode, and actually a rare Melody Fox episode I love.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, Melody Fox wrote this one, and it was one of her best. Oh no, we're on Poof de Fromage, the Cheese Puff aliens.
Yep, and the ending scene.
Okay, so for those who don't remember, some stupid kid named Bobby basically gets a foreign exchange student played by Phineas living at their house, and he suspects Jean-Louis is an alien. We find out this is kind of true, but he's a good alien hunting evil ones that infiltrated the Earth in a secret invasion. And
it's the cheese balls.
It's the cheese balls. And this is a comedy episode. And not a good one.
Nope.
It is bad. It is stupid. They basically treat kids like morons in this episode.
Just look at the ending, like, image, really.
Right, like, the Cheese Puffs swarm the house, and it's worse because he implies this was, like, their camouflage form. Like, why are you still in Cheese Puff form then?
Yeah.
And basically, they drown them in Cheese Puffs.
Right, you can see, like, the dad, like, flailing about.
And the end title says Finn because he was French.
Right.
Except not really, he's an alien. But
look, all aliens are French.
It was bad. It's like the most juvenile Haunting Hour episode I've ever seen.
I think we could safely put this in F.
Yeah, right at the bottom. Yeah, Poof de Fromage is F. Surprise, I know.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes done better.
Critical Drinker. Fuck off episode.
I thought Killer Sponge was bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cheese Puff aliens are worse than the worse than the Killer Sponge. Hang on, I'm gonna get some more water.
Okay. All right. Yeah, as French, I am offended. I feel like French never get a good rap in media. They will always be like the butt of a joke. It's so hard to believe this episode. Yes, it really. When you see some of the other episodes that have been on here that were still bad, this just takes it.
Need water?
I think I'm fine. So,
Okay.
like, this one is just so much far beyond the pale in how awful it is.
Yeah, like what the hell
You
happened?
would not expect a show like this put out something like Poof de Fromage on. It feels like a joke. Because French people always get slandered.
Oh boy, getting all the Poof de Fromage haters out now.
I mean, might as well.
Like,
It is
this is
an
the
awful
worst
episode.
haunting hour episode.
It really
ever.
does make you think how this got greenlit.
It's like, geez, even Grampires was funny.
Right. Like, was the person just working on other episodes to be allowed to make this thing? It's like a Treasure Planet kind of thing.
Right? I feel like they were forced to have a light-hearted episode because parents might have complained.
Plus a waste of good food. Yeah, that's fair.
Next is the Golem.
Yep, I remember looking up this.
This was our Hanukkah special.
Yep.
Okay, so a boy's grandmother dies, and basically she needs him to stop the Golem, which was killing Nazis, and unfortunately still on the loose.
Yeah.
So the haunting hour goes to Russia to stop the Golem.
Yep.
And the Golem is an interesting monster, but it has so many bad effects.
I think it has a great design at the very least.
Well, I like you didn't see the CGI one.
No, probably not.
Like it looked bad.
Yeah.
The CGI looked bad. They go to Russia, and the villagers accuse them of being a witch, like their grandma,
Right.
basically, and think they're using the Golem to kill them. And they team up with Gary Chalk to stop the Golem. That's just prime. Yeah, Gary Chalk was in that episode.
Yeah.
He's like the token good Russian who basically helps them stop the Golem. I did kind of like this one, but I don't remember a whole lot, too.
Not really. I only remember really talking about it in my class for Jewish studies back in university.
Right. The Golem has an interesting... It's supposed to be an emotional story about basically letting his grandma put to rest and rectifying her mistake of the Golem.
Right, yeah. Funny how the actor in the Golem suit also did Big Yellow. But yeah, that makes sense.
Makes sense. He's a body actor.
They're both big beings, yeah.
Right. He's like Doug Jones. What would you rank this
not
episode?
good, not bad, but either.
Yeah. I would put it on B or C.
I was thinking C.
C? Okay.
Yeah, I feel like since neither of us can really remember it well.
I do like it more than Most Evil Sorcerer.
Yeah, and again, I think the design of it is pretty good.
Yeah, it was a cool design, and basically, I didn't like how they anticlimactically stop it by casting the right spell this time, and he, like, keels over dead.
Yeah.
It's, like, kind of a letdown, honestly.
Yeah. The Golem myth, though, is definitely a good one.
I do like... It also killed people. It, like, crushed some guy's skull.
Well, I mean, yeah, of course. It will do anything if it's commanded to.
Yeah, okay.
To defend the Jews.
The Golem's a C tier. Definitely good, but could be better.
Okay.
Oh, the girl in the painting.
You can pop off about this one.
I love this one. This one where Bailey Madison finds a magical portrait of this perfect girl in a perfect utopia, and basically the painting like changes whenever she's not looking.
Yep.
And Bailey Madison is so obsessed she wants to go there. We find out the girl in the painting is alive and brings her to her world.
Yep.
Where, of course, not everything is as it seems.
Nope.
Apparently, their world is haunted by a dragon. And she brought Bailey Madison in their world to feed it to the dragon. Yep. Yeah, I was wondering, was it a dinosaur?
I think it's a dragon.
Yeah,
it's very fantasy style.
The Haunting Hour Wiki confirms, it's a dragon.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically it's kind of a be careful what you wish for, and sometimes if something is so perfect, it probably is.
It probably isn't, yeah.
Probably isn't.
Oh yes, I want to be eaten by a dragon too. That's perfect.
Yeah, I do like, she has this weird lever that opens her roof for the dragon.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
Like this whole Batman gizmo kind of thing.
And the whole painting itself being the idyllic, like, fantasy life is meant to draw her in, as well as other people.
Yeah, and Bailey Madison learns too late that she should have cherished her own life because, like, well, she was poor and she thinks the girl has a better life and wants to go there.
Right.
And she's like, oh, fuck my mom. I want to live with you.
Yep.
And then she finds out, oh, she was being used. And yeah, the girl in the paintings world is worse than hers.
Yep, basically a perfect episode to never judge a book by its cover. Yeah.
I will put this in S rank. The girl in the painting is one of the definitive episodes.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'll put it above Afraid of Clowns.
Okay.
Yeah, Girl in the Painting is great. Love it. Love it. Bailey Madison's last episode was her greatest.
Yeah.
Checking Out. This is the one with the haunted hotel that hates children.
Already, that sounds stupid.
Okay, so a family gets lost on their way on the vacation, and basically they check into a ghost hotel, which is run by this child-hating cult that wants to brainwash the parents and feed their kids to their magic cult leader painting. And the painting looks like Count Dooku for some reason.
Part of me remembers the painting. It might have been like a thumbnail.
Basically, the painting eats the children's souls to grow the hotel's magic.
Naturally.
And basically, the kids are like total brats until they start realizing their parents actually like it here. Because, like, they're slowly being, like, brainwashed into abandoning their kids.
Right.
And accepting this weird Court of Owls kind of cult.
Yeah.
I remember the one guy did the weird bird screeches at a party.
Checking Out was a good one. This one was creepy and a fun episode.
Yeah,
really, people.
There were people who liked it. It had a very creepy atmosphere. I will say it did have a super abrupt ending. Basically, the kids burned down the hotel.
I do think I remember the abrupt ending.
Yeah, they run away and it just closes out in the hotel on fire.
Yeah.
It's like, did the kids, like, make it home? Are the family gonna still love and accept each other?
Right, yeah.
I might put this one on A.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a lower A or a middle or high
I might put it middle A.
Okay.
Definitely above the red dress.
Is it above Grampires, though?
Probably not.
Okay.
I'll put it under Grampires and
above
before
Sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'll put Sick before.
That's fair.
Okay. Yeah, Checking Out was a decent episode. I did give it a gold.
Alright.
It wasn't one of my top tier, but I do find the creepy hotel definitely fun.
That's fair.
Oh boy, Terrible Love. This is the Love Potion episode with Coop from Megas XLR as Cupid. I actually really liked the guy playing Cupid. He was actually funny. The problem is the kid actor. So yeah, basically the girl gets one of Cupid's love arrows to hit a guy she likes, but she gets greedy and it hits him again.
And he becomes a yandere, basically.
Yeah, and a very bad acting yandere, too.
Yeah.
I'm your boyfriend!
Yeah.
This one, I never really liked all that much. It definitely felt like they had trouble deciding if they wanted a comedy or wanted a dark yandere plot.
Okay. Because
they kind of go both ways.
Yeah.
The guy playing Cupid definitely holds it up and makes it fun. Basically, like, yeah, she's obsessed with this guy who barely even knows her.
Of course.
And, yeah, gets Cupid to drug him into loving her. But, yeah, she gets greedy and accidentally double doses him into a yandere. Then there's a chase scene where he almost tries to love her to death. She has Cupid help save her, and the twist ending is kind of dark, where basically...
Doesn't she get hit?
Yeah, she gets hit by this nerd incel guy who loved her and brainwashed into being his hoe.
Yep.
Yeah, she gets kind of her comeuppance and a taste of her own medicine.
Yep.
It's like, I get what they're going for, but it's kind of disturbing when you really think about it.
I mean, give this episode credit. It was terrible. Yeah.
I remember...
If he had a weapon or something much more darker than... I think he had, like, the Valentine's gifts he was chasing her with, right?
Yeah, he was, like, chasing her with, like, a Valentine's box or something.
Yeah, if he had something else, maybe it could be scarier.
Yeah, the boyfriend's acting was awful. He was bad in that episode.
I hope he at least had fun, though.
Yeah, they probably did.
Given
I mean, this was a more
loud
goofy episode. Well, should we put it on E?
I love the actor.
I didn't hate it enough for make it F. So
I say a high E.
High E, okay. I'll put it under Spaceman.
That's fair.
Yeah, Terrible Love is definitely E. It is a weak episode.
Yep.
The only reason you should watch it is for the guy playing Cupid, who's at least funny and having the time of his life.
Alright. I will need to use the bathroom, however.
Okay, I'll answer some questions. Oh man, we're on Seance. Yeah. But I love the actor. Good for you. I definitely like Cupid's actor more. If Brendan was carrying some type of weapon, oh yeah, like he should have had like archery, kind of like Cupid.
Just anything, really.
Let the humans interfere with love. Yeah, Cupid warns you not to overdo that. Cat, where's your co-host House? We couldn't squeeze him in. He's upstairs right now playing his video games. Another, yeah, you got that right, Yara. Yeah, you can have bad acting and still be over the top. I mean, I did mention Alice Claiborne from Ghostly Stare. Dang, I thought Emily Alucard was gonna be here. Poor Emma Grabinski got cast in mostly bad episodes, aside from Creature Feature. Yeah, that is true. She was in Terrible Love, Mrs. Worthington. Both really awful ones. The Hotel and the Love Potion. Oh, I remember that one. Yeah, I actually kind of like the disturbing twist ending where the skeleton girl, like, French kisses him. I am anxious for Spores. We're not there yet, man. Second to last episode. We're on Seance right now, but I'm waiting for Wolf to come back. Yeah, in case you're curious, here's our rankings so far. Sorry, I can't get rid of this stupid pop-up. Yeah, surprisingly a lot of S rank. And a decent number of A. We haven't gotten to the bad episodes yet. We have gotten some, clearly, down here. But we got more coming. We're on Seance.
Seance.
Man, this one was so disappointing. I remember we watched this with one of our friends.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like we were trying to convince him the Haunting Hour was cool. Basically, Joey King and her bitch sister and friends host a seance for the legend of Cyrus, a lumber mill worker who lost his leg and is haunting the world to get a new leg.
Yep.
And basically it is all one big fake out.
Yep.
I hated this episode because we're mostly following the bitch sister and her bully friends who you don't care about because they're mean.
Yep.
And Joey King disappears halfway through.
Right.
We find out it was all a prank, bruh.
Right,
and,
to get back at them, but then actually it isn't.
And then the monster decides to cut off one of their legs, which I would have rather seen that story than this fake out one.
Yep.
I was so disappointed by this episode. A lot of people told me they actually liked it.
I could see why.
But I'm like, why? It's like all a fake out story and they were never in any danger.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point. Like, that's why the first twist being that it was all prank is like just the knot on it.
Well, I never liked it because I also felt they wasted the ghost because he has this cool backstory.
Right.
And we find out, he was just hanging out in the corner talking to Joey King.
Probably, yeah.
Like having tea parties. Yeah, it's like the twist ending is actually more interesting than the plot we got. That was my problem.
That's fair.
I might put this on F, but maybe lower E. Like, what would you want, Wolf? You did see this one.
I did see it, and again, unlike you, I'm kind of fine with the twist, or the fake twist of it being.
Alright, I'll put on low prank. E.
Honestly, I think you could put high F.
Oh, high F? Okay.
Because, again, it also does have a kind of abrupt ending.
Yeah.
With an even more abrupt twist.
I never
Especially
liked
because, like, I even
Seance.
think he says his line, like, I'm the real Sorcerer, I'm here to take your leg, and, like...
He just says, who's gonna give me a leg?
Yeah,
and,
like, yeah, that's basically it. It's like, yeah, that's pretty abrupt.
Well, it also doesn't help that you don't care for any of the bullies, so
Exactly.
why
They all deserve it.
Right. Next is Detention. Oh, the Purgatory episode.
Yes.
You remember this one? Like, a bunch of Breakfast Club kids are in detention for causing some bad riot at the parade. We find out that they're actually dead and being tested in Purgatory. There's, like, the goth chick, the popular bitch, the dumb jock, and Gabe, who, guess who he really is?
With a name like that, it could be anything.
Yeah, Gabe. Yeah, he's the smart kid who's... he's Angel Gabriel, and he was testing them all along.
Yeah.
Basically, it's all a secret test of character to see if they're morally good or bad people.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I will admit, I do like the idea. I thought it was a fun idea. My problem is, like, they kind of stretch it out for really too long. Like, I remember it's a lot of jump scares, and they're, like, wandering an empty school for most of it.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a lot of them looking, like, in the past, trying to think of it.
Right, it's like, it's trying to, like, look within yourself.
Right.
And, like, yeah, the girls realize how nasty they were, and the guy, like, wises up.
Yeah. I do like the ending shot, though, of them walking out of, like, the wreckage and stuff.
Yeah, they, like, got another chance at life.
Right.
Where basically, like, yeah, this is the test if they deserve a second chance, or if they're all rotten eggs.
Yeah. And the premise of what caused them to be there is also really good.
Yeah, basically, like, they were at a parade, and the goth chick, like tried to cause a flashbang, and it accidentally killed them all.
Yep.
Yeah, I do like the idea and concept.
Yeah, hi, B.
Dreamcatcher and B tier.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Under Brush with Madness, but before Game Over, which is one of Wolf's favorites.
Yep,
Detention, I remember giving a Silver Skull, so I might put it in B tier.
I was thinking that too, yeah.
Yeah, Detention has a good idea, but I do think it stretches things a bit too much. I will put it definitely above Nightmare Inn.
Okay.
But Game Over is still cooler.
That's fair.
Oh boy, the Funhouse, Dylan Minnette's other episode.
Walking through an empty school does have an eerie feel to it. Yeah, it does, but it needs other things.
Nightmare Room School Spirit was better. Yeah, it was. I love that episode more.
I missed the girl in the picture. Here's my late reply.
Oh, Girl in the Painting's here in S rank.
Yeah,
love the Girl in the Painting. Awesome episode. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, another underrated one.
We're
I
on
think for Detention.
Okay, we're on the Funhouse now. You remember this one? The magic Funhouse comes to town, and Dylan Minnette goes there, but he becomes addicted because the Funhouse helps him unleash his anger. But something goes wrong, and the Funhouse basically corrupts him and turns his face into, like, silly putty Two-Face or something.
Huh.
And basically his anger overwhelms him. We find out the Funhouse Carney was trying to help him through this, because, like, he's just unleashing his anger and unbottling his emotions, because Dylan Minnette's dad is a deadbeat who left him.
Right, okay.
And basically he goes nuts and, like, attacks this family of mannequins that are always fighting and dysfunctional.
Okay.
Kind of metaphorically striking back.
Yeah.
I like the Funhouse because it is a cool set.
Okay.
It's a really, like, cool, there's, like, a bunch of gears and Hall of Mirrors, creepy mannequins and such.
Yeah, I don't think I remember the episode, unfortunately.
Yeah, you don't remember the Funhouse?
Not a whole lot, really.
Like, basically, like, Dylan Minnette gets, like, addicted to the Funhouse and keeps going there until he starts getting corrupted, and his sister tries to save him, because apparently the Carney comes and tells her this wasn't supposed to happen, it was supposed to help him.
Right.
And, like, he needs the sister, and basically the kids get, like, their emotional resolve from, like, their family drama.
Yeah.
I thought this one actually had a cool idea.
I love how there's no clear villain unless you count the protagonist's inner self. And the Carney was the good guy helping him all along.
Yeah, the Carney's implied to be like an angel.
Okay.
Basically, he came here to help them.
Yeah.
And, yeah, he's really cool, actually. Okay. I liked how mysterious and ominous the Carney was. He's like, welcome to the Funhouse, kiddies.
I feel like I kind of remember that. That was definitely like in the promo. There's no way it wasn't.
Where you can be you all the time.
Oh, boy. That's an episode we might have to rewatch.
Yeah, you might. It's another emotional horror
Yeah.
story. There's no big bad monster.
Right.
I mean, unless you count Dylan Minnette getting corrupted, but it's more so like they redeem him. I think I might put this one in A, actually.
Okay.
I might put it on low A.
Has this series ever had a bad emotional episode?
I
maybe
think
Detention.
Goodwill Toward Men.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get
Detention's on our list so far. Detention's probably the weakest of them.
Detention's weak, but it does have heart.
Exactly.
Next is the Worry Dolls.
I feel like you're gonna hate this.
The Worry Dolls, basically, a girl gets dolls that help you with your worries and magically help alter reality to
Jeez,
make your
okay.
life improve. Basically, the girl is like, her parents are always away traveling and never have any time to spend with her. They give her these worry dolls and basically help the girl's wishes come true, but it backfires horribly and weird magic stuff happens. Like, the parents become obsessive yanderes, always spending time with them.
Okay.
The worry dolls, like, break stuff around the house and have weird happenings.
Interesting.
The worry dolls are kind of creepy because they imply that they're alive. It's that kind of thing where you never see them move, but they pop up in different areas.
Gotcha.
This one has some dark comedy, though.
It was a crazy one, mainly with possessed parents, thanks to the worry dolls.
Right. The dolls, like, I do like the clever way she, like, she tricks the parents into burning the worry dolls in the fireplace.
Yeah.
It was really clever. It had creepy ideas, but it was, like, one of those crazier comedy kind of episodes.
Yeah.
It is dark in the twist where one of the worry dolls survives and attacks her in the end.
Nice.
I might give this one a B. Maybe A. Yeah, I'll put it on low A.
Worry dolls is extremely silly in some areas, especially when the door knocked to her room is bricked over, but I feel like that part of what makes it good. It's one of the better comedy episodes.
Yeah, I'll put Worry Dolls on low A then.
Yeah.
It had its crazy fun moments,
Right.
but it was still pretty outrageous.
Yeah.
Here's our tier list, if in case you haven't seen yet. Oh, Lovecraft's Woods.
Yep.
The one that has nothing to do with HP
I
at
know,
all.
It's
It's just his name.
yeah, they really that was really put in there just as an attention grabber.
Right, it was a ratings trap. Basically, this episode's about kids heading towards a party, and they decide to take a shortcut through a haunted forest.
Of course.
Because what could go wrong? And then they're attacked by, like, this Tommy Wiseau-looking ghoul.
The monster, yeah.
And in a twist, we find out the woods are actually a magical time zone,
Yep.
which has them locked in a time loop.
Yep, where the girl herself is actually the monster and tries to scare herself off from entering the woods in the first place.
Yeah, the woods are like magic. The girl, like, cut her hand on a magic tree or something,
Yeah.
and it poisoned her into becoming the Tommy Wiseau ghoul.
Yep.
And she's been attacking her friends, trying to get them out of the woods the whole time. Which, not gonna lie, always kind of confused me at the end, because basically her friends have to leave her while she becomes the monster, but, like, did they get out of the woods?
I would assume so. Although, if they're still in the loop, I doubt it.
It's like, okay, what happens to the monster girl who's still there? Does she, like, disappear by the time loop, or does her past self become her? See, that's the thing about time travel,
The more
Barry.
you do it, the less
That's
the rules apply.
to you.
Yeah, time loops are a hard art to get.
Yeah, I will say, I did like it. I remember definitely putting on a gold spot, but it was a very low, generous gold.
Yeah. It was a lot more enjoyable with Tommy Wiseau dialogue.
Yeah,
Tommy
she saw my
solid one
review.
too. Yeah.
I loved using Tommy.
Okay. Also, yes, I do. I did see the previous comment as well, Anime Night, about the circling back to the painting episode with the close up on the feet while she's getting eaten. I think you're looking at it way too cynically.
Yeah.
It's just so they don't have to animate the dragon, I think. And also, even if they don't do that, shooting from the feet makes it even much more bigger.
Right.
It's a camera technique as well that a lot
Probably
do.
grabbed her by the head.
Exactly. Well, it probably just mouthed her down fully is the thing.
Alright, so Lovecraft's Woods, I might put on a high B.
Okay. How
Yeah.
did you escape a time loop? Yeah, that is always the question with time loop stories is how in the world are they getting out of it and not just causing another loop or something else.
I really wish it just was a love letter to H.P. Lovecraft, but no, they faked us out.
Yeah.
All right, next is Coat Rat Cowboy. You remember this?
I remember your review of it, kind of.
Okay, so basically, they accidentally cut a hangman's tree, and the cowboy who died on that is pissed and wants revenge.
Yep.
Where they go to this weird ghost world to have a showdown with where he wants to kill the kid.
Yep, remember that.
For disgracing him. And basically, the kid is like a compulsive, is like bad at lying or something, and he uses lies to defeat him.
Right, yeah.
Like, he basically tells the cowboy he's a monster who killed a bunch of people, and it turns out, oh, that was all BS.
Yep.
Okay, so I actually did like that one for the Western horror, but I understand there were a lot of people who didn't.
Yeah.
Especially the climax was confusing and doesn't make sense when you think about it.
Tangled Web was a better liar story.
Yeah, that is a fact,
it has a very unique premise. I can give it that.
This is half good, half bad episode. At least the villain ghost is entertaining. Yeah, the cowboy guy was over the top.
Yeah.
He was actually played by the Scarecrow man.
Real? Wow.
Yeah, okay. I was surprised. He has some acting range on him. Yeah, he plays the drunken, angry cowboy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for ghost western stories. Thank you, Twilight Zone. So, yeah, Coat Rat Cowboy. I did have things I liked about it, but there were admittedly some bad things in there too.
Okay.
I might put it on B or C.
I can see a C.
All right, I'll put it on high C.
I'm not as strong as it as you are, unfortunately.
I'll put it on high C then.
Okay.
Above the Weeping Woman for sure. Yeah, Coat Rat Cowboy had a good idea, sloppy execution.
Okay.
Long live rock and roll. The flow, Wolf. The flow.
God.
Sir Maestro.
Yep.
Basically, a kid who wants to become a rock star buys a guitar from the devil.
Yep.
And the devil, of course, wants his soul.
Yep.
The kid tries avoiding him. The devil abducts his friends by selling them instruments to get him over.
Right.
And basically make him his rock band of hell, and they challenge him to a music showdown.
Yep.
And yeah, I was surprised the devil's played by Alan Miller from Brush with Madness.
Oh, wow, okay.
It's like, yeah, that guy also has some range.
Nice.
Yeah, Long Live Rock and Roll is a good old-fashioned love letter to 80s rock. And I remember, we didn't love it that much, but it was definitely dumb fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, the music playoff.
Definitely.
It's all the same. It's all the same. Yeah, that was Holden's song.
I'm so honored to be doing the stream with you live. Bless you, Cat. Well, we're glad you're here, Emma Rose.
Yeah, thanks for showing up, Emma.
So pleasing that this episode didn't get a D song release, but Wrong Number did.
Right. Well, yeah, Long Live Rock and Roll had some surprising music. Yeah. It was actually pretty decent music.
Of course. It's the 80s. You could barely go wrong with that.
Yeah, and Sir Maestro looked like Slash.
Right, yeah. He's definitely playing up the hairband stuff.
I read he was actually supposed to also be based on, what's his name? Dylan.
Bob Dylan?
Bob Dylan, that's it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the funny voice, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was supposed to be based on Bob Dylan, but a lot of people got Slash out of him.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, he's that old school rock punk.
Right.
Yeah, he was definitely a fun villain. I really liked him.
Okay.
I will say the episode did have some weaknesses. Remember we gave it a ranking 666?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, 6.66.
Yeah.
This one I might put on B or C. What do you think, Wolf?
I could see a lower B.
I
think it's a very entertaining one as opposed to the C rank where there's very little of that.
Okay, low B.
Because I think with B right now we're in a place where it's like it's not great, but it's still very enjoyable. And C is definitely middle of that. So, and this is one we could both enjoy, even on a rewatch, I think.
Right.
So
you can't go wrong with 80s rock.
Of course not.
That was cool.
Like a mix of Steve Vai and Mick Jagger. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he kind of looked like.
Episode was The Devil Went Down to Georgia. Yep.
All right. Oh, Dead Bodies.
The sequel.
The sequel we made. This is the one where Jake Skinner is haunted by death, who's come to kill him because he wasn't supposed to steal his life back.
Yep, and he's slowly decaying. So in order to prolong his life, he needs to sacrifice the girl he stole.
Right, he was going to sacrifice the girlfriend. And basically, we find out Will is still kicking. He's just now a ghost.
Right.
And basically trying to help save his girlfriend and derail Jake Skinner's revenge plan.
Yep.
I really loved the Wraith. That thing was creepy. It was like a legit demon death. Yeah, he like gives like Jake Skinner like decaying marks from touching him. And slowly Jake Skinner is like melting into his... We see his skull.
Yeah.
He has, like, the most brutal death in the series.
Yep.
And Will finally gets a spine and stands up to his bully and saves his girl.
Yep, and gets his life back.
Yeah, because God shows up and gives him his life back for doing a good deed. I think it's safe to say this one is S rank.
Yeah.
Is it better than the first Dead Body?
I don't think it's better than its prequel. I think the first episode was really good. It is a solid sequel, but if as an episode on its own, it definitely needs the first one.
I do like that they weren't afraid. It's the Jake Skinner comeuppance story.
Yeah.
He's like suffering all episode.
Right.
It hurts so bad.
Yep.
It's like melting his face.
Dead Bodies was a worthy sequel. Hard agree. Yes.
Yeah, it was great.
Dead Body was cruel. Yeah.
That was the first one. Yeah, I was glad Will got his happy ending in the end.
I remember how you thought that he would take his place in the other side and meet God.
Yeah, Dead Bodies was a worthy sequel.
Right.
It was definitely good. I think the only thing I didn't like was the weird green screen of the town in the back.
Yeah, that's fair.
Jake Skinner took his girlfriend up like a cliff, and it's like this bad green screen. But yeah, otherwise a great episode. The Wraith was cool.
It's amazing it was made because people hated the ending of the first one. Wow.
Yeah, that's true. People didn't like how the dead body ended, but well, I was okay with it because it's a horror show.
Yeah, exactly.
Good. Yeah, Dead Bodies is great. I'm glad Will got his happy ending, and I'm glad we got to see the most gruesome death in the show. Yeah, very great sequel. My Robot. Oh, the robot.
Do you really want to talk about this, or can we just put it in F and be on our way?
Yeah, let's put it...
if you want a dissection, just watch the video.
Right, I hated My Robot. I'll tell you the basic synopsis. Basically, a loser nerd has this stalker yandere abusive parent robot he bought off the internet, and the hero tries to help save him from the abusive robot by defeating it, and wacky hijinks ensue. It sucks. It sucks.
Yep.
I thought the most dumb moment...
It's crushing the can, right? Yeah, as an intimidation
It intimidates
factor.
him by crushing a
Yeah.
soda. You know, that thing we can do with our paws, Wolf.
Like, the thing anyone can do. It's the first thing people do, practically.
It's like, yeah, he crushes a soda can, and, like, that's supposed to be impressive. It's like, why not, like, crush, like, a steel girder or something?
Right? Or just, like, break a crate.
I also thought it was dumb as hell that they recruit the bullies to help them fight the robot. It's like, yeah, get the people who hate and pick on you to help you.
Right.
That's brilliant writing.
Yeah.
Melody Fox's worst episode.
Crushes a soda can.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright, Bad Egg.
Yep.
Oh, hate it. Hate it. It's
you're
so
not
bad.
You're not gonna tear it apart from Blacksmith Orange?
Okay, let me just drink. Bad Egg is awful. I think it might be worse than Poof de Fromage. Basically, the smoking man from the X-Files loses experimental eggs because they accidentally mailed them to a school. And this annoying fat kid who causes trouble gets an egg, and they're doing like this take the egg home and raise it kind of science test. And it turns out the eggs have monster babies in them. Where wacky hijinks ensues when his egg hatches and he becomes like his pet. And he's trying like hide the pet from his abusive dad, and we have like wacky hijinks that aren't wacky or funny. It's a dumb episode. Like, good God, everything about it was stupid. Like, the main character is so unlikable. He's like a troublemaker, and you kind of understand why the abusive dad hates him. Because he's like basically mouthing off to him, stirring up trouble, and bullying his brother. It's like we're supposed to like him, and we're supposed to assume that his pet is going to redeem him, but all it does is encourage him to act up more. Basically, like, the smoking man and his bumbling sidekick are screwing around trying to catch the monster. Wacky hijinks, pratfalls, people get hurt. The monster kills a dog at one point, and it's supposed to be funny.
Yeah, we got people against it as well. The father being the worst in the episode.
Yeah, the dad was so unlikable. He's like this stone cold, emotionless abuser who basically gave up on his son and considers him a lost cause. Like, throughout the episode, he's threatening to send him to military school, and spoilers, he gets his way and gets rid of his bad kid. And yeah, basically, the boy takes the egg monster with him because he came back, and they're gonna stir up trouble at military school. And I'm so glad we never got a sequel. It is awful. It is just unpleasant and mean-spirited. At least the Smoky Man actor gets a much better episode later. Yeah, he does. We're almost there.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was completely quiet because I wanted to let Cat go off.
Yeah.
I was laughing after a bit.
Bad Egg sucks, and it became one of my longest reviews because I hated it that much. Next is Toy Train.
All right, we gotta talk about this one. Is another very good emotional episode.
Yeah, basically, a boy and his distant father return to, like, the family farm and are basically getting rid of stuff. However, they find a magic train set that models the old farm town.
Yep.
And they see, like, this creepy ghost conductor who's spying on them and randomly disappearing and reappearing in places. And we're finding out what it means.
Yep.
However, the boy finds another kid around town.
Yeah, he makes a friend.
Who's bears a striking resemblance to a certain character in the story.
Right.
And basically they get into wacky hijinks while his dad is being cold and distant, and he doesn't believe his son that the trains are running again around here.
Right.
And we find out that the ghost switchman is trying to make contact with them because he wants to save them.
Yep.
They fake you out thinking he's going to be a villain. Turns out, no, he's actually a nice guy. And he was actually after, like, the father.
Yep.
Because he died saving the father's life because the dad was screwing around on the train tracks like his son and this familiar-looking kid.
Yep. And there's the emotional scene with the dad talking to him. How he still kind of blames himself for it.
Right, and the dad has emotionally closed himself off to everyone, including his son.
Right.
And basically the switchman tells him, it's not your fault.
Yeah.
I died trying to save you. I don't blame you for dying.
Exactly.
And basically the dad is, like, accepting like
he
himself.
can finally let go of his survivor's guilt. And then he puts him on the
and the
toy
ghost
train.
Magically saves his son from almost suffering the same fate.
Yep.
Yeah, he was trying to help them this whole time.
Exactly.
I did like how the switchman looks like this Willy Wonka Doc Brown.
Kinda, yeah.
He's like covered in like soot and has these heavy sunglasses.
Yeah, it is a very beautiful episode.
It is great. It's almost like something out of Silent Hill.
Yeah, or even the Twilight Zone, honestly.
Right. It was much better than I remember.
And this isn't even the last emotional episode of the series either. There's still another good one coming up.
Yeah, some people thought it was boring, which I can understand.
Yeah.
It's not a scary
exactly.
episode.
It's an emotional episode.
I really thought it was a good one though.
Oh yeah,
they really
put it as
experimented.
S.
I put it on S. Yeah.
There's no way it's not.
Yeah, this was a good one. I will put it above My Imaginary Friend.
That is fair.
Yeah, Toy Train was a great episode.
Now, do you think it's better than Flight, another episode that is kind of in the same vein as it?
Ooh, that is hard.
I think I would, honestly.
Really? You think Toy Train's better than Flight?
I do, because I do like the angle of... Because Flight is very impersonal. It's this one guy not wanting to let go. Toy Train is the father's own ghost and guilt holding him back.
Bye, James.
It is a very personal story for him, and that's what makes it so much beautiful when he's able to finally put the switchman on the thing to save his son and let go of all this pain.
Yeah, Toy Train's definitely a good one. We're putting it on S rank, and yeah, it is better than Flight.
Yeah.
All right, Uncle Howie.
Okay.
How we doing? How we doing? It's the Uncle Howie Show.
Yep.
Oh, Tom Kenny is the man.
Yeah, I was surprised they could get him.
Right, Tom Kenny guest stars as a supernatural children's show host.
Which is very fitting for him.
Who basically is best friends with this innocent little girl, supposedly on a haunted channel. And basically the little girl's being abused by her idiot bully brother. And Uncle Howie steps out of the TV world to give him his comeuppance.
But, oh man, that scene as well, just him showing up.
Yeah, it's kind of a dark comedy episode until the final scene.
Right, where it's just full horror there.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say this is an S-rank episode.
Right, it's also fun to see the kind of shenanigans of, you know, the one jerk character who is being prattled on by the much more fun character.
Yeah, my one problem is that Jared's actor was kind of weak, so I'm putting it a bit low.
And of course, you cannot forget the ending where he turns him into a puppet.
Yeah, and it's so creepy because you don't know if he's actually alive or if it's his corpse being puppeted. Tom Kenny, like, pretty much steals the show.
How could he not? The episode was designed around him.
He's just like the Joker and Pee Wee Herman combined as one.
Yeah.
With the exception of the brothers acting.
Can't go wrong with Tom Kenny. I believe that the brother is an idiot bully. That should be a TV trope of idiot bully.
Seeing the piano pass through the doorway behind Jared was very chilling. Yeah, that was creepy. Like, the piano, like, enters the real world.
Even Tom Kenny comments in your video?
Did he?
I'm gonna check now.
Uncle Howie was put up as the last episode of The Haunting Hour when the show was on Brazil streaming.
Right.
Definitely better than Goodwill.
Definitely a good finale.
Yeah,
just a fun one.
Uncle Howie was good. It was definitely the high point of season 3. You know, along with Toy Train. But yeah, it was a great episode. Very scary and somehow funny.
Yeah.
I like that he basically toys with the jerk brother.
Yeah. That's right. It's not Tom Kenny, one of the writers for the episode.
Yeah, Rick Drew. He commented on my video. I was surprised that the writers actually watch my stuff.
Yeah, that was and also I could go point by point regarding how insanely you overthought this. Can't apply it, not a single episode, of course not. I agree with you. Yeah,
we're not mad, James.
That is still impressive that a writer comment on it.
Right. That was early too.
Yeah. 6 years ago.
Yeah, Uncle Howie is definitely S rank. Tom Kenny saves it all, even with the bad acting brother.
Right.
Like, my problem was the brother was kind of stilted and wooden.
Yeah.
It's like, what's going on? Alright, final season. We're on I'm Not Martin. The one where the annoying kid goes to the hospital and he's about to, like, lose his foot because he's mixed up with Martin.
Yep.
A patient who's supposed to get foot surgery. Yeah, I'm Not Martin was not that good an episode. It was confusing.
Yeah.
Like, basically, he goes into this Silent Hill dimension, and weirdly, it's not played for horror, it's played for comedy, because all the characters are over the top. And people told me this one actually scared them, but I'm like, really?
By the ending, I could see it.
It's like, yeah, basically, he's in this wonky dimension where all the adults are out to get him and they think he's Martin.
Yeah, and he just keeps crying, I'm not Martin.
Right, and just when they get him, we find out it was all a dream. And yeah, he wakes up in the real world and we find out, no, the creepy boy is like touching his foot in the car or something.
Yeah.
Which I don't get. It's like, was it real? Is it a death dream? I did not like I'm Not Martin all that much. I thought it was a mess.
That's fair. I think
it
some
was
of the
all a dream, or was it?
I also think some comments just getting repeated.
Okay,
that happens a few times.
All right. I think I might put it on F.
All right. I need to get water for this next episode.
Grandpa's glasses. Oh boy. We're on the greatest episode of the series. Yeah, Lights Out was definitely the better horror hospital. Alright, Wolf, ready for this one?
Yeah, I think this was one of the episodes you might have missed on first viewing. Because I feel like I remember talking to you about this and praising it highly.
I did end up
and you being
surprised.
Yeah.
I was surprised you liked it.
Yeah, honestly, the title itself is kind of all right. I think that might have been part of the hang-up, but it is, like Toy Train, it is another amazing emotional episode.
Yeah, basically, a boy and his distant mom return to their dead grandpa's house to basically clear a few things. Then the boy finds his grandpa's glasses, which allow him to see demons. Slowly, we find out that the mom had a strained relationship with her father.
Right.
And she really doesn't like it here. And she's, like, basically kind of facing a troubled past with him.
Exactly.
However, we also learn that the demon the boy's seeing is the mom's repressed anger.
Yep.
And it's still haunting here, looming over, and basically kept Grandpa's soul trapped and punishing him for not being there for her.
Right.
And basically the demon now unleashes the anger onto her son also and takes him hostage too.
Yep. And there's the great shot of them separated by the door and him asking his mom to forgive the grandfather.
Right. In a twist, we find out the mom is actually the one who has to redeem herself.
Yep.
And basically come to terms with Grandpa's death and forgive him for not being there for her. Because her anger is destroying them and will kill them. And basically, we get a lot of emotional heart. This one also has the smoking man as Grandpa, and he does very good. He was basically an adventurer, and he didn't want to raise kids, which was why he was distant with his mom. Then, at his old age, he realized how he missed out on having her in his life. And he basically died with regrets, and that helped the demon come after him.
Yep.
And basically bonds with his grandson, who he's meeting for the first time ever.
Yep.
Yeah, long dead now.
Right.
And he finds out that his daughter grew into such a great woman.
Yep.
And yeah, basically a lot of emotional reconciliations.
Yeah.
Confronting fears, kind of Silent Hill-esque horrors of coming to terms with yourself.
You will not see this comment. Well, we did. And yeah, it is definitely an S tier. There's no way it's not. If Cat tries to put it anywhere else, I will kill him.
Oh, let's put on F. Alright, let's put it before Fear Never Knocks.
Yeah,
okay.
it is beautiful.
It should have been the series finale in my eyes.
I wouldn't say series finale, but yeah.
Definitely the last episode of the season.
One of them, yeah. It is. You all should watch it if you have not seen it somehow.
Grandpa's Glasses is a 10 out of 10 episode.
Yeah, and I think you weren't on board with it first time around.
Not the first time, but then when I started analyzing it, that happened to me before. I changed my mind on episodes.
Happens to both of us.
Oh, My Old House. This is the one with our buddy, the bumbling house.
Yep.
Yeah, we're finally on one of the best scary episodes.
Yeah.
Basically, a little girl named Alice is moving out of her house, but the house is alive and doesn't want to let her go. Yep. And she's having, like, family drama because she doesn't like her parents because they're taking her away from her best friend.
That's right, Nicole Oliver's in this episode.
Right, Princess Celestia.
Yep.
She's like the mom, and she's basically turned against the parents because the house is like her boyfriend or something.
Yeah, it is a weird relationship the two have.
Yeah, and she essentially runs away from home to be with the old house, and slowly learns that the house is not the ideal boyfriend she thought he was.
Nope.
The house weirdly comes across like an abuser.
Yeah.
Kind of showing his true colors because he won't let her go. He's convincing her to run away from home.
Right. It's also done well because when she first goes to the house, he gives her basically everything she desires. But then when she starts wanting to go back to her family and missing them, that's when he starts to become much more twisted.
Yeah, he totally loses it.
Yeah.
He's like flipping out all drawers and furniture, and then he eventually turns into a snake and eats her.
Yeah, the copper wire demon was pretty good, I'd say.
Yeah, I thought it looked really cool. Like, the house is one of my favorite villains, and basically it's a very simple where he's a toxic yandere that wants this girl.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we slowly learn more about him, and he's not this fun guy that Alice treats him as.
Okay, I finally got stream on my phone, so your low battery came up.
Uh-oh.
So I'll be using mine for a bit. I think we have a charger here.
Yeah, we do.
So yeah, we will now be on my little phone.
Got the comments up?
Oh yeah, I've got down all messages too. Tell House I said hi. Do the house voice.
Okay. My robot was a S-rank masterpiece. Shut up, house. My robot doesn't deserve an S.
Kudos for having such a creative concept for a horror story. Definitely. Though I will always laugh at the line of "say goodbye to the house."
Right.
That's just too funny of a line. I'm sorry.
The best part is the dark twist ending where we find out how he killed her.
Yeah.
Or she might be alive.
Right.
Where basically it ate her and her face is like melted in the wall.
Exactly. And you have the cute opening, not cute, you have the funny opening of it where it's like, there's a face in the wall. It's like, no, that's just the vent, because that's a classic thing.
Like, no, there's
yeah.
actually a face.
And it's just
her...
like a mask. That's one of those creepy masks just put in it.
Right. And
with a smile as well.
And then House like pretty much threatens her next and is going to become a serial killer House.
Yep.
This one is totally S rank.
I love how the lights and vent are its face. Yeah, that is a common thing with some houses where there's even a bunch of posts about it. I don't remember what the specific term for it is, but it is a common thing where people will see faces when there isn't one.
Yeah.
Houses are common for it because you have the two like triangular windows and stuff.
I really love all the creepy shots of it too, like especially the one at night where he's like whispering, "Come home,
yeah,
come home." And yeah, the house is a creepy villain. It is S rank. One of the last scary episodes in my eyes.
Yeah, it's also quite sad how the mother could never reconcile with the daughter.
Because now she's dead.
Exactly, and she doesn't know that, but she has the whole like heart-to-heart with the father.
Right, like she regrets how she treated her. Yeah, my old house is great.
Yeah, like they aren't bad parents at all, unlike a lot of these other ones. They're just too late.
Oh boy, Mrs. Worthington.
And then, yeah, they don't prepare you with the show at the end. It's just that's their face.
Yeah, that was a creepy shot. I still have that photo.
There's another in this season that I consider scary. Interesting.
All right, Mrs. Worthington.
Oh, nice.
My archenemy Melody Fox returns.
That's right. And what is this with Lois Lane's actress?
Yeah, Margot Kidder.
Yeah.
The original Lois Lane.
Yep.
She's this evil Mary Poppins kind of character.
Yep.
Basically, a bullied boy wishes upon a star that his protector, his OC, would come to life and stop his idiot bully sister. And Mrs. Worthington shows up and does just that.
Yep.
But then we get this very piss-poor anti-bullying moral.
Yeah.
And, like, we're supposed to believe Mrs. Worthington is the worst person, even though he created her that way.
Yeah. Well, doesn't he also have a lot of other, like, twisted drawings of his sister?
Right.
Like, I feel like that's a dark premise that's not really talked about.
It's like, yeah, nobody talks about, like, we're supposed to believe that he's the worst person for wanting the bullying to stop.
Yeah, like,
but he became fucked up by it.
Yeah, he's a victim that, again, is pushed into much darker thoughts that if it wasn't for Miss Worthington, you'd think he would just kill her and his family.
It's like, okay, so Margot Kidder does a pretty good job, but I did not like how she's written because basically she's not proven wrong.
Right.
Like, she said, like, why are you so harsh on my sister? It's like, she's not sorry. She's sorry she got caught and punished.
Exactly.
And it's like, yeah, that's not proven wrong.
And that's a common thing, even in real life.
And then, like, he's also going to target her mom, and she says, like, why do you want to hurt my mom? Because she enabled her.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, she did.
Yeah, these are all logical steps.
It's like, yeah, Mrs. Worthington is not proven wrong. That's the...
Right. That's maybe she's going overboard with killing them or turning them into stuff, you could say, but it's not blameless.
And, yeah, she also said she was going to let Molly go if she apologized, which, of course, she didn't.
Exactly.
So, yeah, she, like, sewed her up or whatever.
And, of course, speed knitting.
And, yeah, I'm the fastest knitter alive.
Yeah. Man, this episode could have been so good, but was so bad. Why couldn't the twist be that Miss Worthington be the mother of the actual boy and the bully sister suffering away?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And it also pissed me off, like, the mom, like, acts like she did good parenting because her kids get along now.
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna put this on F. So I'm sorry. Mrs. Worthington still sucks.
Yeah.
Alright, Return of the Pumpkinheads. This was a disappointing sequel.
Yep. Everyone can agree to that.
Basically, we abandoned everything in the first one except the Pumpkinheads and the farm. Farmer Palmer died off screen.
Yep, and sold his property.
Yeah, his farm was bought out by this new idiot family who move in. The kids are brats who hate it, of course. And then they stumble upon the Pumpkinheads, who slowly troll them before actually killing them.
Yep.
And This one had so much potential, and I was really looking forward to it. But I would have rather they continue off the first one.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the sequels that it should be tethered more.
Right. It's like we find out that the little boy who was implied to die at the end actually survived and told about the Pumpkinheads around town. And basically everyone in town knows the farm is haunted except the idiots.
Yeah.
And yeah, the Pumpkinheads slowly pick them off. There's this weird scene where one of them mistakes the dad as the Farmer Palmer.
Right. That's right, because he's like putting on the old clothes, I think.
Why would he want a dead guy's clothes?
Well, look, some of them could look nice.
It's like
save money too. Also, hello, Emily.
Emily, you
Glad
made
you could
it.
make it in the final season.
Yeah, we're almost done with it. Here's the tier for those of you who came in late.
We'll go over it one more time once we're all done.
Yeah. We're on the Return of the Pumpkinheads, almost at the end. Basically, it's a lot of the kids crying and angsting, and the parents being stupid idiots.
Yep.
And yeah, basically, it's all the cliche of a group of idiots are in a haunted place of being picked off. The Pumpkinheads, I was so disappointed by because they're kind of reduced to generic monsters. Like, the one thing this episode does give us is that they show you how Pumpkinheads are made because they eventually get the parents and bury them.
Right.
And for some stupid reason, the kids save them thinking the hospital can do something about the Pumpkinheads.
Which, of course, doesn't work out.
Yeah, and the twist ending, they turn into evil Pumpkinheads and eat their kids.
Yep.
It was lame, and worst of all, it was so dark. I couldn't make out half of everything.
It being shot at night was not good.
Yeah, it wasn't that good. It's like, what happened? The first one was perfectly lit.
It's basically Say Cheese and Die Again of the Haunting Hour garbage sequel, yep. And just woke up, hope you had a good sleep, at least, Emily.
This one I might put on D.
Yeah.
I'll put it above Intruders, that's for sure. Yeah. Oh, near mint condition. The Mangler! Remember the cybernetic teddy bear?
Now I'm remembering, yes.
Yeah, Sheldon Cooper buys the cybernetic teddy.
Spending all the money on it.
This one was also a mess, because it could not decide if it was funny or dead serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically this knockoff Sheldon Cooper nerd buys a collectible in near mint condition, and big shock, it turns out to be a killer doll that strangles children.
Yep.
And basically goes on the loose while not Sheldon doesn't believe it's actually alive and evil.
Alright.
And basically his idiot brother's trying to prove it is.
Yeah, but eventually they make up and use the real katana to cut it in half.
That scene was so stupid.
Yeah, that was definitely much more comedy.
Yeah, it was a dumb comedy, and it didn't help that the Mangler wasn't scary. It looked too cute.
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to make a plush that's supposed to sell scary.
Fear the Care Bears.
Yeah.
Oh,
should have taken notes from Nostalgia Critic.
Right, like, I brought that up. Remember he fought Teddy Ruxpin?
That's right.
I kind of wish they went that angle, because that was also funny.
Yeah, least Tales from the Dark Side, How to Creep Your Teddy Bear episode.
Yeah, Ursa Minor.
Of course it's called that.
Yeah, yeah, wait till we get to that one. This one I'm going to put an F for sure.
Yeah, that's completely fair.
I will put it above Mrs. Worthington, since some people told me they laughed at it.
I guess.
Alright, RV. This is the one where China Ann McClane's stupid parents buy a haunted RV.
Yep.
And she's like trying to get rid of it because it's haunted by ghosts of a dead family.
Yep.
And yeah, this one had a very bizarre twist. But I will admit, I did like it because it had some very kind of Silent Hill-esque kind of horror. She like sees things that happen in the RV and ghosts that aren't there.
Yep.
Yeah, basically, the RV is haunted by a dead family, and the RV is collecting souls. And China Ann McClane's dumbass parents are just the newest victims.
Yep.
Yeah, she knows the thing is haunted, and wants to basically save her idiot parents from it. I need some water.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wants to save her idiot parents from this haunted RV, and of course, spooky hijinks happen. This one actually does have some creepy moments, because the RV is also played up like Christine. It's like a sentient vehicle, and she once tries to get rid of it at the dump, and the car follows her back home.
Right.
I remember one of my favorite scenes is like where she thinks she saw the RV following them.
Yep.
But like drove off too fast.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, she fails and loses because the parents decide to go on a vacation and she follows them to make sure the RV doesn't pull anything, but it killed them.
Yep.
It crashed and they meet the dead family who hitchhike. And basically, their soul is trapped on the RV forever because her parents are neglectful morons.
Yep. Really Shadow Link. You actually think this one's decent?
Yeah. It wasn't too bad, honestly. It's not an overly complex story, but it does have like a horror vibe.
Okay. Your review on that RV episode was justified. The fact that girl who had her whole life ahead of her, and now they are gone and she is trapped in a ghost RV for all eternity.
Yeah. I'll put it on A because I hate the parents.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
The parents were like total man-childs. They were morons.
Okay.
I'll put it below creature feature.
Alright.
There we go. RV's an A rank. Perfect for R.
Alright, now the last good episode.
Lots of luck. The Magic Wishes story with Leprechaun Seamus. This is your classic be careful what you wish for, but with a very fun and creepy villain.
Yep.
Basically, this boy with bad luck meets a leprechaun who can make his dreams come true. But he gets backfiring wishes.
Yep.
And we find out that the leprechaun wants to steal his soul as payment.
Yep.
So when that third wish is made, his soul is forfeit. So he has to come up with a way to outsmart him.
Yep. Thankfully for him, the leprechaun is actually something the mother's grandfather, or like great-grandfather, had actually encountered previously, and somehow he had escaped, so that's what gives him hope.
Right, so he thinks there's a way out.
Right, and so the finale is the mother sort of making all the ritual stuff and getting all the incense, like all the things she can, to delay the leprechaun and stop him.
But that doesn't stop
it does, yeah, it doesn't do anything. I actually like that, where she's actually like frozen in time, because yes, all this stuff you thought was gonna protect you? Nope.
Right. I love Seamus as a villain. The guy is pretty much the epitome of a trickster.
Yeah.
He's like also creepy. Like he basically hurts the parents because bad luck has to happen to him if he gets good luck. Like he breaks the dad's hand. And he also freezes the parents in place.
Yep.
He like does a lot of disturbing stuff, and we find out he's a lot smarter than he seems, especially based on the twist.
Yep.
Where basically he does the whole I wish I never met you thing, so you can't steal my soul. But surprise, the leprechaun wins because he reveals how Granddad outsmarted him.
Yep, which was by only having female children for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Because it would be his next male
descendant
would pay the price, basically.
So his soul was forfeited the entire time.
It was worthless. And honestly, I really like that twist. I really love the scene as well, because I think the music heightens it up.
The last thing we ever see is his slasher smile, and he lunges at the boy. Like, he can like rip out his soul.
Yeah.
I think this is an A rank.
Definitely. Lots of Luck was the one episode I considered to be also scary. Why? Because from the start, Seamus, no matter what, wins. Yep.
I will put it above The Perfect Brother. Definitely a cool one. This is the last good episode of the series, so of course it's an A rank.
You're gonna tell the future generations that Lots of Luck was the Leprechaun movie series. Yeah, that's a good thing to do, Lilith.
Yeah, they actually made a good leprechaun monster.
Yeah. What wish do you think Greg could have made to save himself? Him not knowing the Grandpa Soda Soul is a big issue, so I don't know how, I don't know what wish he could have made.
I wish the leprechaun was a vegetarian. Alright, in case you wanted to see the top tiers, Here we go. Oh, also, Seamus was actually played by Grady from the Werewolf of Fever Swamp.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, the little boy who... Yeah, that was him all grown up.
Nice. Turned into a homeless leprechaun.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Spores. The Last of Us.
Yeah, this, came out after the game, honestly.
Right.
It was weird.
Clearly banking on the video game. So basically, this dysfunctional family is going camping because the abusive dad wants to beat his workers' hiking record.
Yep, so that way he can get the promotion.
He drags his kids on a vacation they don't want to go on, and of course it's through a forest which has mutant spores that turn them into clickers.
Yep, the cordyceps.
Yeah, they basically travel and they all get picked off one by one by the clicker virus.
Yep.
I really hate this one because it's so mean-spirited. It's like the family has this hate boner for the main kid. And, like, the dad is so unsympathetic. He's like, I actually wanted to bring you here so we could have one last family vacation. It's like, you brought them on something you wanted to do.
Exactly.
It's like, and your stupidity dooms them all.
Right. All of them fall victim to it. You think the one innocent kid's gonna get out, but no, it turns out the park ranger is evil.
Which is total bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, so all the clickers were assembling in this perfect plant area, but he's the one that can walk around and pretend to be human.
Yeah, I don't understand that. And he also just kind of vomits the spores, I think.
Right, which shouldn't affect him immediately if he kept his mouth closed.
Yeah.
But
Right.
yeah, it was a dumb twist and just there to have a horror ending where the main character dies.
Yeah.
Don't like it, F.
Yeah.
It
It just really isn't good, unfortunately.
Right, it's just mean. Alright, we're on the finale. Goodwill Toward Men. The Christmas special. Oh, this one sucked.
Yeah.
This one was bad.
And it hurts more because it was the last episode.
Yeah. I understand they wanted to end on a positive, uplifting note, but I don't think they did it right.
Not at all.
Basically, Joey King and her rich elitist family are total pricks even on Christmas, so they get punished by a divine angel who rewrites time and space so make them poor.
Yep.
And they learn what it's like to walk in a homeless person's shoes.
Except I didn't know homeless people had an entire kingdom, though.
They have, like, Woodbury.
I love that set. It is hilariously overdone.
Oh my god. Who was worse, the dad in this episode or the one in Bad Egg? I think the worst one since he tries to act like the victim, saying, I just want to spend time with my family.
No, this one was definitely probably worse.
Yeah, I do think the Spores dad was an awful scumbag.
There's no, even if it's for supposedly good intentions, there's no excuse for him.
Right. He also made fun of his son for being afraid, so screw him.
Yeah.
Back on Goodwill Toward Men, it's like, this had a good idea, like It's a Wonderful Life, but with a screwed up twist.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I hate the family because they're mean and they don't learn anything.
Right.
It's like
they just get, like, rewritten entirely.
It's like, yeah, they have their personalities warped because the angel plays God and rewrites time and basically made them humble poor people.
Yeah.
But, like, they didn't change at all.
Yeah, they really just swapped the circumstances of the rich family and their gardeners.
Oh, and Joey King lives with the rich family
because
again.
She was good.
Yeah, she was good.
Like,
and it ends with this awful lesson. Even the rich deserve Christmas too. Yeah. Don't you love hearing that now?
God, what an awful episode.
Oh, it
Straight
was
up.
bad.
Especially having to listen to them bicker and complain when they were poor.
It goes straight on to F. I will say Poof de Fromage and Bad Egg are worse.
Oh, definitely.
Because the angel at least looked cool, but it was awful.
Again, poor Joey King, yep.
Yeah, Joey King's in so much crap.
Right.
I keep seeing her in bad stuff when she's a good actress.
Yeah. Anyways, I saw the comment Prince Care about your original monster for Spores. It's good, like, yeah, good for you, but like the episode's still bad. I also remembered one scene from Spores with the twin siblings where the sister gets infected.
And because we're psychically linked.
Yeah, exactly.
Somehow affects me too.
That's too dumb.
It's like, what?
It's like, oh yes, we're two different people with different bodies. We're linked.
Yeah, because the sister got infected, their psychic link allowed him to become a plant thing too.
And it's not even creepy, it's just kind of hilarious.
Right? It's so dumb.
It's like, yep, this is serious.
It's like, yeah, this was supposed to be their last dark episode.
Right, and then of course, Goodwill Toward Men, it's not even a good episode that's supposed to be lighthearted.
Yeah, but Shadowlink got it. The rich deserve Christmas too.
Yeah, it's just such an awful line, awful lesson, everything.
Isn't that something you love hearing today?
Right, like, the rich have Christmas. They can do whatever the heck they want.
Right.
They're not suffering.
I heard actually some people did like it, but I only think it's because of it's wanted to be an uplifting episode.
They had way better
it's
ones.
Bad.
Yeah, I don't know how you can excuse it.
It's like, yeah, the family didn't change.
Right.
And the angel basically retconned them entirely.
Yeah.
It ends with this lesson that the rich deserve Christmas too. It doesn't help that this came after Spores, where the innocent kid died, and the rich family get rewarded with middle-class life.
Exactly. So much goodwill had been burned from that.
Yeah, it was a bad finale. It's why I say Grandpa's glasses would have been superior as the final episode.
Goodwill Toward Men even just had a cop-out ending too. It's like they didn't know how it ended, so they just said, yep, I guess they learned their lesson. Episode over.
I'll get more water.
All right, I will read comments then, because I did see your comments, Emma Rose. I've been going through a bit of a health crisis this past year. I just wanted to let you all know that your videos have been getting me through it. Your videos are the best, and thank you for it. Me and Kat both, of course, wish you get better and stuff. We have no clue what you're going through, of course, but hope everything will get better for you. The late response to wrong number. I think your comment of Stephanie not really being a popular girl might be true, and how she deserved to be erased from existence via phone. That's more of a Cat thing. Again, most of these episodes, I remember some of them. All the emotional ones I can remember easily. I can remember Goodwill Toward Men for hating it. I remember Spores because of The Last of Us. But everything else is kind of hazy for me. So once Cat gets back, I'll show him that message. Grandpa's glasses and lots of luck should have been the finale episode. Both Spores and good. Yeah, I could see that. Definitely. Grandpa's glasses is definitely... If I had to reorder the final season, at least to create a good thing and match them, I would put probably Uncle Howie as the third from the last. Then it would be the scary one with lots of luck, and then Grandpa's glasses. I think that's the best order for it. The angel was Chronica, and the angel wasn't even that creepy. It was like the giant statue thing. Man, am I tired, yep.
Alright, I'm back.
Okay. Yeah, a late response to wrong number. I think your comment of Stephanie not really being a popular girl might be true, and how she deserved to be erased from existence via phone.
Well, she definitely acted like she was the diamond tiara of school.
Okay.
Alright, we want to go over the tier list?
Yeah, let's start from the bottom.
Alright.
Let's highlight the worst.
Bad Egg. Awful, awful comedy.
Poof de Fromage. Repeat as the last one.
Awful comedy.
Goodwill Toward Men. Awful lesson. Awful characters. Awful story.
Awful finale.
Yep. Sorry, Joey King.
My Robot. Terrible. Really terrible. Has the lamest villain in the series.
Yeah, but can you crush a can with your hand?
Yes, you idiot. Spores. Bad Last of Us ripoff and a total mean-spirited mess.
Yeah.
Stage Fright, bad comedy.
Oh boy, poor Britt McKillop.
Night of the Mummy, a total mess.
Yeah, Yugi and Atem, this is not.
Yeah. Seance, a one big fake out that's not really scary and you don't care about the character surviving.
Right.
Mrs. Worthington, the worst anti-bullying lesson and worst of Melody Fox's career.
Yeah, shame that's, I think, one of the last things Margot Robbie was in.
Margot Kidder.
Whatever, sorry.
Yeah, that's not Harley Quinn.
I know, my brain just jumped. You all knew what I meant. And so did Kat. Thank you, Kat.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking.
Near Mint Condition, just a lame comedy.
Yeah.
Very lame and all over the place. I'm Not Martin, a total mind screw mess.
Yep.
Didn't understand a lot that's going on.
But at least we know that he wasn't Martin.
Yep. Best Friend Forever. Lousy comedy and a very creepy premise, but not for the right reasons.
Yep.
Ghostly Stare. Boring and confusing. The Hole. Also boring and confusing.
It could have been done better looking back.
Yeah, just a botched haunted house story.
Yeah.
Terrible Love. It speaks for itself. It is terrible and you don't love it.
Yep. Spaceman. Honestly, everything builds up towards the finale for that. Everything else tossed aside.
Right. Just a weak mediocre
And also,
episode.
don't look at the alternate ending.
Okay. Intruders. Mean-spirited. It had good ideas, especially with the Fae folk. But ultimately, I thought it was too mean and nasty to get into.
Yeah. Good for fairy lovers, though.
Right. Main character sucked. Return of the Pumpkinheads. Disappointing sequel.
They shouldn't have returned.
Yeah. Bad Feng Shui. A forgettable mess. I barely remember this one. Pool Shark. A bad Twilight knockoff. Had a cool idea, but ultimately was drowned by the CW drama. Red Eye. This one had an interesting monster, but also wasn't all that scary.
But hilarious photographs.
Alien Candy. This one was alright. It had some creepy moments, but a lot of pointless moments and useless characters. The Most Evil Sorcerer. The Haunting Hour tried dark fantasy, and it had its hits and its misses, but I thought it was just okay. Mostly because Griselda got punk killed. The Golem. This one is actually a pretty touching emotional drama, but I'd be lying if I said it was a definitive Haunting Hour episode. Lights Out. The Haunted Insane Asylum. This one has some fun, but very abrupt ending.
Yep.
The Weeping Woman.
Pretty confusing with what it was going for.
Yeah, La Llorona's a pretty cool monster, but
Yeah.
they didn't seem to know how to use her all that well.
Nope.
Coat Rat Cowboy. This one was just dumb fun. A love letter to Western horrors like the Twilight Zone. I thought it was alright. It could use some improvement, though. Long live rock and roll.
Huge episode for you 80s fans like myself.
It is a fun episode, I will give it
Yep.
that. Not scary, but definitely got crazy with its love for rock music. My Sister the Witch. An okay comedy episode. It loves playing with dark ideas, but ultimately I thought it was just fun and goofy.
But badges.
Swarm and Norman. The coolest thing about this is the insect effects. I do think it's not higher because it does have a sloppy anti-bullying lesson, but I do enjoy the insects being terrifying monsters.
Yep.
A Creature Was Stirring. Pretty much the only good Christmas special they made. It's a pretty dumb one, but a fun kind of dumb. I do say it does have some problems, but I do think people will get a kick out of it too. The Black Mask. This one was alright. Definitely a fun mystery that had a nice surprise. Nightmare Inn. If you love werewolves, you might love this one. It does have very confusing mind screw moments too, but I do think you can get into it, and it does have a heartwarming twist. Detention. Pretty good purgatory episode.
Yep.
Love the secret tests of character. Love the characters redeeming themselves, seeing who's worthy of heaven or hell.
And a good little nod to the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, very good. Game Over.
My favorite and always will be.
Another dumb episode, but a fun kind of dumb.
Yeah.
It loves video games so much, and I do think people will get a kick out of it.
Yeah.
I do think it could use some improvement, a better final boss.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But it was pretty great overall. If you're a gamer, you will love this episode.
Just turn your brain off and watch it.
The Dreamcatcher, a decently creepy episode. I do think it ends rather abruptly and doesn't resolve everything, but if you like Freddy Krueger and summer camp horror, this is definitely for you. Dreamcatcher is definitely an awesome villain. Any comments?
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of them.
Rip Manny.
Yep.
Yeah, Manny's gone.
Good. How many are there? There's some that aren't tied. I thought Spaceman was alright, but it was carried by the end. Yep.
Wolf thought that way too.
Yeah, Long Live Rock and Roll deserved a clip of soundtrack release. Long Live Rock and Roll, then Rip Manny. If you were going to choose an episode to introduce someone to the show, what would you choose? Blacksmith Orange is Brush with Madness, My Old House, or The Cast?
Ooh, I think My Old House is definitely a good creepy one.
Yeah.
One time I actually requested somebody watch Afraid of Clowns, and they really loved it.
Really?
Yeah, it was definitely right up their alley.
Nice. If I had to introduce someone, I'd probably choose Toy Train, Grandpa's Glasses, maybe Uncle Howie, but also Mascot.
Alright. Brush with Madness. This one is definitely okay. It does have great horror moments, but I can't stand the idiot moments. It's like these characters got so dumb, and it's just to make the plot move forward.
Yep.
Alan Miller sucks as a writer. Lovecraft's Woods. Definitely a fun time travel story with a claustrophobic, scary atmosphere. But I do think the time travel stuff is where it gets confusing.
Yeah, definitely. It makes me feel like I've seen it before.
Right. This one is definitely decent. The Worry Dolls. One of the craziest episodes of the series, and I do think it does have its fun moments. It's one of those so ludicrous episodes that makes it so fun. The Funhouse. Definitely a great emotional horror story. I think Dylan Minnette's better in this one than he was in Brush with Madness. because he plays like this anger-prone cynic who basically refines his way. I think the Funhouse is very good and it teaches you to not bottle up your emotions. This one is pretty decent. I still think it's A. RV, classic haunted car story. It is definitely a great model. The creature feature.
Good homage to the past films. It is really fun with it. I love that it also... It's not like making fun of them like a lot of properties do nowadays where it's like, this old thing is outdated. Like, no, it's having fun with it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the body horror. If you are a fan of body horror, you'll get a kick out of it. If you can't stand it, you'll be like me and be terrified of the scene.
Yeah, definitely a great love letter. The Red Dress. Definitely a classic morality tale. It's about not stealing and not doing the wrong thing for your own personal satisfaction. I do think it's pretty good, but it's not super perfect to me. Scary Mary, a great Bloody Mary homage. Definitely one of the creepier episodes, but it doesn't make S because of that stupid theme song at the end.
Pretty, pretty girl.
Pretty girl, boys. Yeah, if you ignore those credits, it's a pretty good episode. Wrong Number, a good episode about not being a dick. I think it had fun with its concept, and it was great seeing Debbie Ryan as an evil bitch. She's usually known for being nice characters, so seeing her as a bully is what made it so fun, and it definitely got away with a lot. Checking Out, a fun hotel story. Definitely gives you like Shining vibes, but in R.L. Stine's point of view.
Yep.
Sick. A great mind screw terror. Definitely one of the trippier episodes, but that also made it super fun. Grampires.
What could you not like about Christopher Lloyd? It's honestly just pretty funny as well.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty decent, funny episode. Christopher Lloyd carries it on his wings. The Pumpkinhead. A classic, terrifying episode. This is definitely one of the scariest moments in the Haunting Hour. You will really love that Halloween horror type of feel. It is a great episode. The Perfect Brother. Wolf and I actually did like this one.
Yep.
It is definitely a fun one for if you like that trippy kind of horror where they're all robots. I do like the Robot Factory especially, and I do think fans will get a kick out of this for more sci-fi horror.
I just wish I had one.
Lots of Luck. Classic. It is definitely a fun episode. It greatly uses the Leprechaun lore and actually made Leprechauns scary. Way better than Warwick Davis ever did. Really You. This is also a good episode. I do think it does have some flaws, mostly the mother being an evil bitch. But Lily D is an awesome villain, and it is one of the creepiest episodes. It is definitely a strong start for the Haunting Hour.
And it's no wonder it's probably our biggest review still.
Yep. The Cast. Definitely a fun, telltale heart kind of love. I really liked this episode so much. It is one of their perfect mind screw horrors, especially because the Haunting Hour actually didn't rely on monsters to make it scary. The Cast is definitely a great one about how the greatest fear is your fear of guilt. The Return of Lily D, a great sequel. Lily D gets a lot more character in this one, and she is effectively creepy, especially her going from good to bad so fast. I definitely recommend it. It was perfect for our last Haunting Hour review. And yeah, still a great sequel. I actually do like it than the first part. Catching Cold. The Haunted Ice Cream Truck is also another staple for the show. It is definitely a great morality tale about being careful what you wish for and not being a greedy glutton. And the Haunted Ice Cream Truck is one of the greatest images they ever had. I still think it's S rank. Uncle Howie. Tom Kenny pretty much carried this entire episode. It is one of the best shows. Checking the comments?
Yeah, I was just checking comments.
Anything new?
Uncle Howie, comments? Not really. Some are just giving their own opinions, of course. Which we welcome all of them.
Uncle Howie, I do think Jared's actor was the weakest, but Tom Kenny saves it all.
Yep.
Yeah, Tom Kenny saves all of it. He is the best part. Next is Headshot. Definitely a classic cautionary tale. about how being evil on the inside is what makes you ugly, and that your friends might not be as pure innocent as you initially think. I do think it is a perfect modern adaptation of The Picture of Dorian Gray. Definitely one of my favorite Ariel Winter episodes. And probably a scarier Satan than Sir Maestro. My Imaginary Friend. A great coming-of-age story. Definitely one of the sadder, more emotional episodes. I think Travis is an underrated Haunting Hour villain because of his deranged obsession with Josh. I think that was his name.
Probably.
Yeah, his deranged obsession with the main character was so creepy. Sorry, I just burped.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so creepy. My Imaginary Friend is definitely an episode that has gone up on my list. I used to think it wasn't all that great, but I eventually gave it a 10 out of 10. It is Melody Fox's best episode. Flight. Definitely one of the strongest emotional horrors. I do like its concept of being afraid of death and self-sacrifice. It is definitely a very good episode that surprisingly has tons of heart. Toy Train. You want to do this?
Yeah, I'll let you breathe. What else is there to say about Toy Train? It is a beautiful and sad story of a man going over his own guilt that is causing his own present life to be worsened by his own actions. Everything, like, he is so closed off, and he needs a ghost to help him get over that and to basically have a better future with his son. Especially because his own past is what almost kills his son.
Oh, who do you think is the best actor in the show
Aside
besides
from
Bailey Madison? I would go with Christopher Heyerdahl as Fear. He was so awesome. I love him. He, like, hammed it up to the max, and he was surprisingly creepy, too. Like, he has that kind of serial killer face. I mean, this was the guy who played Zass, after all.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely liked him. Second, I would say I do like Swarm and Norman's actor, too. He was hilarious on the walls, and surprisingly sympathetic on Swarm and Norman.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't pay enough to the actors.
Right. It's been forever since you watched the show.
That too.
Wrong Number gave us Made of Matches. Enough said. That's Debbie Ryan's song.
Okay.
She made it for the Haunting Hour, apparently.
Really? Huh.
Yeah. I might have asked this, but what do you consider the most boring episode? I would say My Robot. Oh, I think Ghostly Stare was pretty dull. Okay. What about you?
Again, I'd have to rewatch a lot of them. But, like, I don't think My Robot is boring. I think it's infuriatingly bad, is the thing. Yeah. I would just get angry watching it, not bored, is the thing.
Right. I thought The Hole was also kind of boring because
yeah,
it took
I think
forever for stuff to happen.
That's probably what I would put as it.
Okay, we were on Toy Train. Afraid of Clowns. This one is definitely great for those of you who are afraid of the funny men.
Yep.
Afraid of Clowns is a classic, especially because the clowns are so weird and over the top in this. I think it's actually a very fun episode because it also ends on this shocking you are what you hate kind of twist. And basically has one of the most weird, outlandish ideas. It got me hooked on the Haunting Hour. That's how good it was. The Girl in the Painting. Another classic. This one is definitely a good morality tale about being careful what you wish for and how sometimes something isn't as perfect as it seems. I love Bailey Madison in this because she goes full-blown psycho. And I felt sorry for the Girl in the Painting because she was actually a tragic villain. It's like she didn't want to feed her, but it's us or them.
Yep.
And it definitely has one of the craziest twists in the series.
Yeah.
Where their fantasy world is haunted by a dragon. Oh, Emily, My Robot has the epic crushing scene.
Of course. How could you not get bored by that?
Ghostly Stare don't got nothing. Yeah, it was boring. He plays Fear better than when he did for his death scene in the Twilight movies. That's right, Christopher Heyerdahl was on Twilight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that guy really got around.
Yeah, well, I still remember from The Flash.
Oh, Fear reminded you of Hannibal Lecter, huh, Blacksmith?
I could kind of see it in appearance.
He definitely has that charm and charisma.
That too.
Grandpa's glasses made Blacksmith tear up. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Next is The Walls. This is definitely one of the funniest episodes.
Yeah, especially the ending.
Yeah, I love how it fakes you out by pretending it's going to be another dark, serious episode. But then halfway through, we get all these crazier jokes and setups.
Yep.
And it is funny. I love it. It just belongs right here on S rank. I actually found a good comedy episode on The Haunting Hour. Wait, if Becky could escape the painting, then couldn't the girl in the painting escape with her mom?
I doubt it.
I guess so much fear was instilled by them by the monster that they were so afraid to leave.
I think it's supposed to be a one-way thing.
Yeah, they can enter their world, but they can't get out.
Yeah, they're trying to bring people in to feed the dragon. They are not trying to escape because I don't think they can.
Yeah, I think, it's like a one-way portal.
Right, because she comes through the closet.
Yeah, she came in the closet, and apparently she couldn't go back.
Right.
It's like, yeah, the girl in the painting apparently can't leave the painting. That was the thing.
Right.
That's why they're feeding people to the monster.
Exactly.
Next is the dead bodies. Both 1 and 2, because I kind of count them as one.
I count them separately.
Okay,
but I still put dead body above it.
Dead bodies, basically the Jake Skinner Suffers show.
Yeah.
It was definitely a great, creepy one, and pretty satisfying for all of you who didn't like the ending of the first Dead Body.
Yeah. A good follow-up to the episode.
Yeah, very good sequel, and really pushed the boundaries for the Haunting Hour.
Yep.
Then the Dead Body.
Another boundary pusher.
Yeah, definitely a good one, and a very solid anti-bullying episode, strangely. Because Jake Skinner basically became worse than a bully.
Yep.
Yeah, really classic. I definitely still love it.
Yep, very solid episode. Very solid ending. I don't care what any other people says. It's supposed to be a bad ending.
Yeah, they're most likely tied to the world. That's what we were trying to say.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Mascot.
Who doesn't love Big Yellow?
Right.
This is one of
song and dance.
Right. This is one of the most iconic characters of this series. It is definitely a good old-fashioned monster story / murder mystery kind of deal. I think it is so fun, but also so creepy. They really went all out with Big Yellow. He definitely leaves an impression on your memory.
Yeah, it is a horrifying ending that will never leave.
Yeah, it is definitely one of the creepiest episodes of the series. Fear Never Knocks. This one's a classic. One of the best villains, one of the best horror setups, and actually a pretty good lesson on confronting your fears. I love it. Fear is an iconic villain, and this is one of the best episodes that helped to make the Haunting Hour stand out. My Old House. Well, we know this one's a classic.
Yep, another iconic episode in its own right, but also for our own channel.
Yeah, this is a great one. I thought it was one of the scariest episodes, and the house, of course, is my favorite villain. Now my roommate.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's also a good dark twist on the moving away stories.
Yeah, one of the darkest twists, too. I would say this has the scariest twist of them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mascot comes pretty close, though. Grandpa's Glasses.
Yet another emotional story, and again about sort of lingering emotions. Rather, instead of guilt, it focuses on basically hatred and not being so close to your family. However, causing that is not a good thing, as, you know, it's trapping Grandpa on the other side.
Right. Oh, Emily brought up Big Yellow's poison gas creation.
Yeah, I just don't know what that's about.
Big Yellow is a mastermind supervillain, Wolf.
Yep. But Grandpa's Glasses is one you have to watch if you were going for the emotional episodes.
Yeah.
The ending is beautiful.
It is one of the best Haunting Hour episodes, and I'm surprised how deep and compelling it was.
Yeah.
I would honestly say you should watch this episode last as the finale. But, you know, you can watch it any time.
Yeah.
Definitely would have been greater as the finale. And top is Scarecrow. An episode that tricks you into thinking it's going to be another monster story, but then turns into this deep, nihilistic,
it's almost
existential dread.
Right.
Definitely one of the episodes which made the Haunting Hour way deeper than anyone would have thought.
Yeah, and the alternate cuts both work, even if one of them is kind of weaker with him setting fire to it.
Right.
Like,
he rejects his philosophy.
Yeah, they're both kind of shot, not so great, but the message behind them and meaning that you can find in them is so good. And it's also just a good story of what will you do in the face of despair.
Oh, Prince Kiro said he didn't like how Jake Skinner stole the girlfriend at the end.
I mean, that was common.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
he's
I
a
think
dick,
that was going to happen. I'm sorry.
He's a dick, okay?
He already took his life. Why wouldn't he steal a girl?
Yeah, Scarecrow is great. I do love it. I love both endings, too.
Yep.
Like, people tell me that the one where he turns into a Scarecrow is creepier. But I think they're both kind of creepy because he's alone in the world.
Exactly. Well, no, he's alone in one world. The other, he's with the guy.
Right.
Spectator.
He was with the guy. This one really pushed the envelope for the haunting hour and made it way deeper than it had any right to be.
Yeah, it's amazing how many of these episodes are super deep and impactful.
Yeah, these...
Like, it really feels like it wasn't written just for children. It was a family show.
Right.
As it is always said.
Some of these could have been... Yeah, some of these were aimed at adults.
Right.
I mean, what kid would watch Toy Train?
Which one would watch Scarecrow?
Right. Toy Train and Scarecrow turned out to be way deeper than they had any right to be.
Exactly.
And that's what made the haunting hour so good. It didn't talk down to kids. Well, except for Poof de Fromage. But
it did on some other occasions, too.
Yeah. They really pushed the envelope for what you can do on children's entertainment.
Yeah.
And that's why it was one of my favorite shows, because it didn't avoid telling you that people died in the show.
Yeah.
It didn't avoid teaching like harsh lessons like the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, it's definitely an evolution of Goosebumps as well.
You got the Deep End Complex. Very thought-provoking episodes like Scarecrow and House. Then you got Bad Egg.
Yeah.
People die if they are killed.
Ah, yes. Good old Emiya Shiro.
I knew you'd go there, Emily. Okay, do you want anything to say?
I don't think you got any other comments.
Do we? No more comments?
I don't have any on this. As for comments here.
Okay, if you want to see the whole ranking, here it is.
Yep.
Wow, yeah, surprisingly had less on the D ranking.
D and E, yeah. It was either extremely bad or middle. There
right.
was a lot of them.
A lot of middling episodes. Oh, you surprisingly had a lot of...
Yeah, B, A, and S.
Right.
We actually have the same in A and S.
We did love this show after all, so stop saying we're too hard on it.
I mean, we only reviewed every episode.
Okay, you want to end the stream here?
Yep, gotta go in a couple hours. I'll be joining live. Well, it was glad to see all you people here. Thank you, Yara, Blacksmith Orange, Emily.
Thank you for showing up. We'll try and keep this up on YouTube if you missed it.
Well, I mean, it's just gonna be a VOD.
Right. Well, I want people to see it in case they didn't.
Well, no, I mean, it's a video on demand. They can watch it whenever.
Okay.
I'm not deleting it.
Good.
Yeah.
We love the haunting hour, and this ranking should prove it.
Yep. Don't know if we'll do any more of these kinds of streams, though.
Yeah, unless there's a demand for them.
Right.
They might ask us to do our Goosebumps. I hope you all liked tonight's stream.
Yep.
Well, it's been great. Bye, I love both of you. This was great, yeah. Really was. Take one last snapshot of the ranking in case you're still here.
Yep.
Alright. Thank you for joining us, Wolfpack. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, or just tune in for more here on Wolf Entertainment.
Bye-bye.